We welcome you to Bethany, Oklahoma, to the SNU football field for today's GAC matchup featuring the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm and the East Central Tigers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. James Hill here with you, and joined here by my colleague Luke McConnell. And Luke, we got an exciting game in conference here, the home opener today for SNU.
Yeah, always exciting to start the season off here at in Bethany, and after a tough loss last week, excited for the Crimson Storm to get back home and to turn things around to get this season started on the right foot.
And you mentioned that both these teams coming in at 0-1 on the season. As you mentioned with SNU, they did fall to Southeastern on the road in their opener, falling 35-0. A struggle for the offense as well as some turnovers. Really made it a tough day last weekend. On the other hand, East Central dropped their opener at home to Oklahoma Baptist, a heartbreaker in overtime, falling 27-26 off a missed PAT in overtime. So, East Central also trying to bounce back from a tough loss. Luke, we're going to start with the SNU offense, and we take a look at, as we mentioned, a struggle last week against Southeastern. Only coming with 189 yards on the day, 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions for Jacob Spady, kind of uncharacteristic of him. Take us through this SNU offense and what has to change today.
Well, SNU is going to be looking to really run the football a lot. They're going to do that from a variety of positions and in a variety of formations. And I think the biggest thing that they're going to try to do to this ECU defense is stretch them side to side and see what they're going to be able to do on the perimeter. ECU is going to be locked in man coverage on the outside, and we saw in their game last week against OBU, their corners were primarily concerned with their wide receivers and didn't really do a lot in run support. So SNU running a lot of motion and things like that. It'll be interesting to see how ECU adjusts to that, if they adjust to that, and what success SNU will be able to have on the ground because of that.
Yeah, you look at Jacob Spady. He was the leading rusher last week, 15 carries, 91 yards in the game. You're kind of also probably hoping to see somebody like a Nate Walker get going. He's one who had, just last season, had 584 all-purpose yards, both to do it through the air and on the ground, 5 touchdowns on the season. See who else they can get involved in that running game today. Yeah,
definitely. And I think the big thing for Spady is going to be improving on those passing numbers. Last week, just 4 of 16 with 3 interceptions. Just not a good outing for him, and really uncharacteristic. As the senior starting quarterback, you definitely want to see better performance from that. And there certainly were opportunities. If you go back and look at the film, there were definitely opportunities to have a higher completion percentage and possibly change the outcome of the game a little bit if they'd been able to get into any sort of rhythm throwing the football early on. But those interceptions were very costly, especially down the stretch when they were trying to get back in the game. But overall, SNU, they controlled the clock really well. You look at the time of possession, had the ball for over half the game. And so there was a lot of good things to take away from that, from their performance on the ground especially, but just the lack of passing throughout the game really doomed them in the second half.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can get receivers like Reed Roloffs going. He led the team in touchdown catches last year with 6. Reese Carlton, he said, going to give it a go today. He had a huge game and a win over East Central on the road last season, 6 catches for 70 yards in that 33-30 thriller. But I think, as you've mentioned, it all goes through Jacob Spady. What's he going to be able to do? He's 1 touchdown away, becoming the all-time touchdown leader by a quarterback, 4th all-time in school history as well. So he's kind of the playmaker on this team, and it seems like the offense is definitely going to go through him.
Yeah, and it's always exciting to see, him being on the cusp of school history like that. It's always exciting to, to be a part of that, and I know the offense certainly wants to help him get there, because if he's able to get there, good things are happening for the SNU offense.
Flipping sides to the ECU defense, a 3-4 defense from the Tigers. And this was a team, they did a good job stopping the OBU rushing attack. They're actually 3rd in the GAC right now, averaging 104 yards a game in total defense. Also got a couple turnovers, came with a couple of interceptions, and as we said, had a chance to win that game. What are you looking for when you're looking at this ECU defense?
Well, with their 3-4 defense, they use that to be pretty multiple in their formations. We saw a lot of 3- and 4-man fronts, using that jack linebacker to be up on the line of scrimmage like a defensive end and rushing the passer against OBU last week. So it'll be interesting to see how often they switch back and forth between that 3- and 4-man front. You'd think to kind of limit SNU's run game, they would probably stack more in the box that way, get more people up on the line of scrimmage. Like I said earlier, them being in man coverage on the outside really were honed in on the OBU receivers and locking them down on the perimeter. And with SNU running so much motion, so many sweeps, it'll be interesting to see what success SNU is able to gain early in that, and if ECU is forced to adjust their game plan as far as their pass coverage, and if that opens things up in the passing game for Spady.
And you look at East Central last week, you can see in their numbers that their linebackers were the ones stepping up, making those plays in the running game between Job, R.J. Williams, and as well as Corey Williams. They pretty much combined for most of the tackles on the day. On the other side, you got Jalen Baldwin, though, who was at corner. He actually had 10 tackles in the game last week and 1.5 tackles for loss. So you got to think those corners, they're going to have to step up, make some plays, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle that SNU offense.
Yes, and it'll be a huge day for the SNU offensive line. And last week, ECU had 11 tackles for loss. And it's going to be very important for SNU to get everybody blocked up front because, like we said, they're going to want to run the football. That is their MO. They are trying to establish the ground game and control the clock throughout the entirety of this one. So keeping people out of the backfield, making sure those handoffs are clean, the exchanges are clean, and letting their running backs find the holes is going to be very important today.
As we said, SNU comes in 12th in the GAC in total offense. ECU comes in 8th in the GAC in total defense, but 3rd in rush defense. So we'll see how that matchup kind of plays out throughout the day. We're going to flip to the other side and look at the SNU defense. And this is a defense comes into today 6th in the GAC in total defense, 5th in the rush as well. This is a defense, you look 35-0, and you maybe kind of look at the box score and say, yeah, it just probably was a bad day all around. But this defense actually put out a pretty good showing last week. Yeah,
certainly a lot of good things came about from that, and a lot of it, you look at the turnovers that the offense had, put them in bad positions, some short drives for Southeastern last week. So overall, though, you have to feel pretty good about what your defense did. Certainly 35-0, you'd think, absolutely not. You can't gain a lot of good from this at all. But, again, circumstances, have to be looked at. For the SNU defense, I think the big key is going to be the speed in the secondary. They're not very big in the secondary. You look at the starters all under 6 foot across the board. Lakeem Christmas on the 2-deep is the only person over 6 foot in the entire secondary, but they've got a lot of speed and a lot of toughness back there. And with ECU's offense looking to stretch the field with a strong-armed quarterback like David Cornwall, it's going to be important for SNU to utilize that speed, keep up with those receivers, especially number 2, Trinity Benson, who we're going to talk about here in a minute. But keep up with those receivers and really limit the run game by crashing downhill.
Yeah, and you mentioned Benson and being able to contain not only him but some of the playmakers on this ECU offense. They're going to need some big days from the corners who are going to be covering both in Dorian Harris, Jekyll Davis, and, of course, Josh Jordan, the second-team All-GAC selection just a season ago. He's going to be a big factor, too, at his safety position. Another one to keep an eye on is Jake Hansen. Had a really nice game last week with 13 tackles, including a tackle for loss. As we said, this SNU defense was really able to get after a little bit, had a lot of tackles for loss in that game. We're kind of able to get after Southeastern a little bit when they were able to pin their ears back and do some damage.
Yeah, and you look at, true freshman Trayvon Hadley in there as a true freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas, with 6 tackles, and I believe he's going to get the start today at that outside linebacker position as well. So a lot of youth there in the middle, with Hansen a sophomore and Hernandez also a sophomore, all around with Miles Roll the senior. So a lot of good, exciting youth there at the linebacker position, and they're going to have to really take advantage of their opportunities to pressure the quarterback and to make tackles in space, especially up close at the line of scrimmage. You don't want Benson or Ruben Armstrong, Tyson Jones, or any of the other backs for ECU to get to the second level.
And let's talk about this ECU offense. We kind of alluded to him, and we got to start here. He was an all GAC second-team selection a year ago, and he's one of the playmakers on this team, and that's Trinity Benson. He had 9 touches last week, 188 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You talk about some efficiency there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very, very fast. He took a handoff 75 yards on just an end around. Some missed tackles there, but just really outran everybody on the OBU defense. He stretches the field, and With the vertical passing game as well, he is an exciting player to watch. And SNU, both up front with the line and the linebackers containing him on rush plays, and in the secondary, will have their hands full containing him today.
Well, and we'll talk about David Cornwall in a minute. He had his struggles last week, but even so, they're going to find a way to get the ball in the hands of Trinity Benson. As we said, with his 9 touches of the 11 completions, 6 found the hands of Benson just last week. You mentioned the running backs as well, Tyson Jones, Reuben Armstrong, a pretty tough two-headed monster there.
Yeah, they're athletic. They're both in the more of the shorter, squattier types, but they've got good speed as well. So Jones, the junior from Sherman, Texas, and Armstrong, a sophomore from Alexandria, Louisiana. So they've got some good speed there. They also got some good power as well.
All right, now we'll talk about David Cornwall. 11 for 29, not very efficient throwing the ball. Does finish with 144 yards, though, and 2 touchdowns. You're able to watch a little bit of him last week. What are you seeing from him?
Well, and it's kind of exciting to see him in person today. It's not every day you get to see an Alabama transfer or anything like that. Of course, Cornwall, the local from here, you played at Jones High School for a year. He played at Norman North for a year. If I'm not mistaken, he had transferred to Jones prior from another high school. So this would make his 6th school since high school, with 3 high schools, and then he had gone over to Nevada last year as well, and now he's ending his football career finally here at ECU. And he's a big, strong guy. He has a big arm. You look at the film from last week. He's just 11 of 29 last week against OBU, and a lot of those throws were just overthrows. 5, 10-yard overthrows. The dude has a cannon. And it's just up to him to kind of hone that in and get on the same page with his receivers. But he definitely has a lot of talent. He's got a big arm, and you see from 29 pass attempts last week, ECU wants to utilize that. They were very run-pass balanced last week, 31 rushing attempts and 29 pass attempts. So, there's not really a way that the offense is going to lean for ECU. They kind of want to be pretty balanced across the board.
Well, and you got to think, this is going to be his first road start in the GAC. So you got to think maybe early on East Central tries to establish that run, tries to get maybe some short passes completed, and just try to settle them down, because some of those overthrows, as you know, those can turn into turnovers going back the other way and can really flip a field.
Sure, and I think the key for both quarterbacks is getting in that rhythm early, and I would imagine that both offensive coordinators are going to be looking to get some of those short to intermediate routes and get some good completions under their belt early on in order to establish confidence and in order to build that rhythm. I think for Spady on SNU side, it's going to be more about confidence, and for Cornwall, I think it's going to be more about getting in that rhythm, because I think once a guy with arm talent like he has gets in a rhythm like that, it's very difficult to get him out of it.
Could be a battle of the rushing game today, as we said. SNU defense 6th in the GAC in total defense, about 382 yards a game. They are 5th in the conference in rushing defense at 154 a game. On the other side, ECU 9th in the GAC in total offense at 362 yards a game, but 4th in the GAC in rushing offense with 218 yards last weekend against OBU. So, Lucas, you kind of put it all together and look at both sides. What are going to be, for both sides, what's going to be the key to the game? Let's start with the SNU side.
I think for SNU I think I'm going to highlight the offensive line here. They want to establish the run game. They want to, control the clock, and the offensive line is going to have to block well. They're smaller in stature. They're not overly talented or anything, but they work really, really hard, and I think that's what you want with a guy with the big uglies in there, the hog mollies, if you will. You want those guys that are going to grind and grind and grind all day long, regardless of size or talent. So I think that's the key for SNU, is the play of the offensive line. On the other side, I think it really comes down to Cornwall. I think it's going to come down to his ability to be consistent in the passing game and not be as erratic as he was last week. If he's able to do that with the talent they have at running back and at receiver with Trinity Benson, I think it's going to be difficult for SNU to contain if he is hitting on all cylinders.
Take a quick look at the GAC standings. It's simple. One game in on the season. You got 6 teams at 1-0, and you got 6 teams at 0-1. The teams on the 1-0 side, the number 7 team in the nation, Harding sitting in first. You got Ouachita Baptist ranked 19th in the nation, sitting in second. Southern Arkansas and Southeastern both receiving votes today, sitting at 1-0. And you had Oklahoma Baptist and Southwestern rounding them out, also at 1-0. Arkansas Tech, Arkansas Monticello, East Central, Henderson State, Northwestern, and Southern Nazarene all sitting at 0-1. Of course, I say that. We do have a final today as we go through the schedule. And Southeastern, who was receiving votes in the national standings, will take their first loss of the season. Oklahoma Baptist, I think I would call this an upset for sure, pulls a 34-28 upset down in Shawnee. A big win for the Bison to go to 2-0 on the season. Southeastern goes to 1-1. That's the only game that has gone final so far. All the rest of the games today starting at 6 p.m. Northwestern will take on Arkansas Monticello. You got Southern Arkansas taking on Harding. You got Henderson State over in Russellville taking on Arkansas Tech. You've got Southwestern heading to Arkadelphia to take on Ouachita Baptist. And then the one that's about to get started here, East Central taking on Southern Nazarene. And I see a couple captains already coming out on the field here for Southern Nazarene. And it looks like we're about ready for the coin toss here and about ready to get this home opener going here soon, Luke.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It looks like the rain might hold off. It's looked kind of iffy all day here, but looks like the clouds are kind of thinning a little bit, at least brightening up some. So hopefully we'll avoid a rainy home opener for sure, because that would definitely put a damper on things.
Well, hopefully we do, because this is an unusually cool day here
in
Bethany.
Fantastic.
It is a almost feels a little bit like fall as opposed to summer early on here in September. Overcast skies, a little bit of a breeze coming in. As we said, hoping some rain will hold off. You see a couple dark skies. You probably can see it on your screen in the background. But we're hoping that will hold off and we'll have a dry football game between these two squads. So we'll have the coin toss here coming up in just a second. We're about 3 minutes out from kickoff. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with kickoff between Southern Nazarene and East Central. Back here at SNU football field, we are about set to get going here between Southern Nazarene and East Central. The Tigers have taken the field. SNU to take the field shortly. SNU won the coin toss and has deferred to the second half, meaning East Central is going to start with the football as the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm enter the field. James Hill on call with you today. Here with Luke McConnell, excited for the SNU home opener. As we said, both teams today coming in at 0-1, both looking to rebound from an early loss this season. SNU last week, as we said, falling 35-0 against Southeastern. And then East Central dropping a heartbreaker in overtime to Ouachita Baptist, who is now 2-0 on the season, 27-0. to 26. And now here comes the Crimson Storm. A little bit of a delay. Had to keep them waiting.
Got to let that siren run for a little while.
Good crowd on hand. We were just talking about off air. The SNU faithful out in full force here for the home opener.
Yeah, that's always good to see. And, you obviously want to see that every week. But, hopefully the Crimson Storm will give everybody a reason to keep coming back this year.
And we're looking forward. We mentioned, we'll talk about again, last year these two teams played in a classic down in Ada. Southern Nazarene took the early lead, led by as much as 20-9 early on. East Central stormed back, took a 30-26 lead late in the fourth quarter, but a Jacob Spady run with 19 seconds left clinched the first win of the season for SNU as they beat ECU for the first time ever, 33-30. So they're looking to make it 2 in a row here.
I'll take another classic like that, James. That's for sure.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic game last year, really a back-and-forth game, and the folks in Ada were definitely treated to a show. And as we said, as Luke just alluded to, we're hoping for the same thing here in Bethany here this evening. The lights are on. SNU comes out all maroon with their white helmets, white socks, white cleats. And on the other side, ECU going to come out in all white, black helmets, black and orange trim. And we're about set to go here in Bethany. Carlos Anguiano, the senior kicker from Ashdown, Arkansas, set to kick off. Back deep, Jeremiah Jefferson and Akeem Gordon for the Tigers. The players are on their feet, and the crowd also on their feet. And folks, it's Saturday night in Oklahoma. And it's time for kickoff here between SNU and East Central. It's going to be Gordon at the 2-yard line, and he heads towards his left side looking for a hole, and he's tripped up and knocked down around the 20-yard line, and that is where East Central will get started.
Great coverage on the kickoff there for the Crimson Storm.
You can feel the energy from the sidelines, just a lot of excitement right now. And East Central offense will take the field, and as we mentioned, the quarterback, David Cornwall, the senior. He's been all over the globe, it feels like, but he's found a home here at East Central, and he's going to get things started here for the Tigers. They'll start with a one-back set, a very tight trips to the left side. Tyson Jones in the backfield. Cornwall will hand it to Jones. Jones has a hole, powers forward, and he's going to get a first down, and he's still not down. Good, powerful run there by Jones. That is a 12-yard gain and a first down.
Again, Jones, a little bit small in stature, comes in listed at 5'10", 210, but he's got some power and a little bit of speed to him as well. Really hit that hole hard.
Very impressive run. They'll give him actually 13 on that run, and it's 1st and 10 again for East Central in a offset I formation here. Jones still the lead back. They'll hand it to him again, another big hole, and he's through it, and he puts his shoulder down and maybe gets another yard or two, and it's going to be 2nd and short for the Tigers.
Yeah, number 23, Miles Roll, the linebacker, got caught inside and was unable to fill the hole. Massive hole there paved by the Tigers' offensive line.
Well, early on, Tigers definitely dominating the line of scrimmage just 2 plays in. It's 2nd and 3. East Central's going to come out in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers and a tight end to the right of Cornwall, who is back to pass. He looks, plenty of time. Now he's under pressure, and he's got to get rid of it. And some pressure finally from the Crimson Storm. Ethan Spurlock was able to get to him. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, nicely done there. Good job by the ECU offensive line initially, but great job by Spurlock and Derek Gillis to keep pushing, keep pressing, and great coverage down the field as well from the SNU secondary.
I think that's the main thing. Excellent coverage there by the SNU secondary. That was almost a coverage sack in a way, or coverage pressure in that case, as it will be 3rd and 3. It'll be a pistol set. Armstrong in the backfield. Armstrong gets the carry, goes right side, tries to cut back, and he was able to evade one tackle, and I think he just got enough for the first down.
Yeah, it looked like he had number 43, Trayvon Hadley, had him dead to rights in the hole, but I think he got just enough space to squeeze through the tackle and get the first down by about half a yard.
Yeah, nice move in the hole there by Armstrong, and just got exactly enough for that first down. So 1st and 10 for East Central. This drive continues, first of the game. Cornwall under center, one back. It'll be a play action. Cornwall, it's a nice little dump off there, nowhere to go. A host of SNU defenders. It'll be no gain as they dump that one off to Dylan Gardner, and he got maybe a yard.
Yeah, and there you go with the speed. Josh Jordan coming up from the free safety position to make that tackle. Gardner had some space there. A really nice drawn-up play there with the double tight end set on the right side. Just went down with the offensive line, then leaked back out. Had a lot of space there, but not exactly the most fleet of foot. And Josh Gardner, very fleet of foot, was able to take him down for a 1-yard gain. Shotgun
formation, man in motion. They're going to flip it out to Armstrong. Armstrong catches it, moves forward, and maybe a face mask. Yes, there comes the flags. So they're going to get 15 more yards after a short gain. And it's going to be another first down for East Central.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the guilty party was. It might have been Jaquale Davis or Dorian Harris there. But definitely a face mask. Good coverage overall, hemming that play in. But just poor execution as far as tackling with discipline.
I was going to say, yeah, the SNU got down in a hurry on that kind of dump off there. But obviously penalties keep this drive alive, and it's going to be another 1st and 10 for East Central. Tyson Jones back into the game at running back. It's a one-back set. Two tight ends to the left, man in motion, and they're going to hand it off to Benson. Benson around the left side, and he'll be knocked down as Miles Roll finally takes him down, but not before a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's the play that Benson scored that 75-yard touchdown on OBU in the first quarter last week. Just that fly sweep. You see what makes him a talented player, a lot of speed, and he's got some pretty good size on him as well.
He takes that and he moves in a hurry. Really got up the field, and as we said, a good 7-yard gain. This is turning into a really nice drive here for East Central to start this game. They'll be back in the pistol set on 2nd and 3. Jones in the backfield. Play action. Cornwall looks, he's feeling pressure. Rolls, got him, and he brings him down. Big sack there by Miles Roll, and it's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Tigers.
Again, terrific coverage down the field by the SNU secondary, doing a great job so far, allowed Roll to get in there and make that sack. It looked like Cornwall had a man open, but was unable to pull the trigger, and by the time he thought about it, Roll was there in his back pocket and got the sack.
Trinity Benson's back into the game. He's going to line up to the left of Cornwall. Shotgun formation. Two receivers and a tight end to the right of Cornwall. He's going to be back to pass. Looking, fires. He's looking the way, and it's caught by Trinity Benson. He's going to be short of the first down. Got about 10. He needed 11, and it's going to be 4th and 1, and it's decision time early on for ECU.
Terrific tackle there by Jaquale Davis. Benson looked like he ran his route just a little bit too short there. You want to try to run your route past the sticks and then come back, but it looked like he ran it right at it and then came back, so ending up a yard short. It looks like ECU is going to go for it here.
4th and 1. They've seen some big holes early on in this very set with one back. Tyson Jones in the backfield. Cornwall sends a man in motion. It's Benson. They'll hand it to Jones. He's got the first down and more, and he gets it down to the 15-yard line. And this drive continues for ECU as they convert on 4th down.
Really nice play call there for ECU, clearing out the linebackers, running with Benson on the fly sweep and allowing Jones all the space he needed. Nice hole from the offensive line as well.
Al Johnson in his first season as head coach. For ECU, the offensive coordinator, Jeff Duckworth. Loving some of the play calls we're seeing early on here from East Central. Really creative there with the last one. As it's another offset I formation. Armstrong back into the game. Play action. The rollout is dumped off and caught there by Harvey. Harvey breaks a few tackles and gets it down around the 10-yard line. And it'll be second down.
Josh Jordan there for the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, but Harvey was able to get through the arm tackle around his ankles and was able to pick up 5 yards there. But again, good pursuit from the SNU defense, but got to be more disciplined and make that tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Pistol formation for East Central. Armstrong in the backfield with Cornwall. And it was a read option. Armstrong hangs on to it and picks up 4, and it's going to be another third and manageable here for ECU as he is stopped short of the first down.
Jake Hansen again with that missed tackle there in the hole had Armstrong there right in the backfield and just missed him and allowed him to get a few yards there. Again, got to take advantage of those opportunities to limit the gains where you can.
This is still the first drive of the game. It's already taken over 6 minutes off the clock. ECU facing a 3rd and 1. Armstrong remains in the backfield in a tight one-back set. He gets it. Good push there. And I think he got enough for the first down yet again. And it's going to be 1st and goal for East Central.
Good stick there from Hansen. Met Armstrong right in the hole, but was unable to prevent him from getting the first down. But again, nice job filling the gap there and making the solid tackle.
So this drive continues. It has been a long one for East Central. Now they're looking to cap it off with a touchdown. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Tyson Jones in the backfield. They'll hand it on the speed sweep to Benson around corner, and he gets knocked down for a loss, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it looked like he might have just slipped down there on the fly sweep. Again, short loss, but you got to take them where you can get them right now for SNU. Really want to hold them to a field goal at this point.
I'll say big moment for SNU early on. If they can possibly hold them to a field goal, that could be a big win for this defense. 2nd and goal now. Tyson Jones in the backfield. 1 back set, 2 receivers to the left. Cornwall, play action, looking to the corner. Now he's going to go, and it's going to be Benson. Did he hang on? Touchdown. Touchdown, Trinity Benson on the 6-yard pass from David Cornwall. Was able to get his hands under it and bring in the touchdown catch.
Yeah, nice job by Benson running a route across the back of the end zone. Good job by Cornwall finding him. A little iffy on the catch there. He looked like he came down with it, but not sure that he maintained control through some contact there at the end from from Angel Hernandez. But the official in the back corner of the end zone called it a touchdown, and no replay here to overturn that one.
Bobby Schmidt, kick is up, and the PAT is good. So what a drive to start off for East Central. 7:21 to play in the first quarter, and ECU holds a 7-0 lead over SNU. We will take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You are watching SNU football on SNUathletics.com. $7:21 to play here in the first quarter here at SNU football's home opener, with East Central taking a 7-0 lead thanks to a 15-play 80-yard drive that ate up 7 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. And Luke McConnell, what a drive to start for the Tigers.
Yeah, and a really frustrating one for SNU. Had a couple of opportunities to get off the field on 3rd and 4th and short, but just were unable to make the plays, make the stops. And ECU, very methodical. I believe only threw the ball 2 or 3 times for completions, but a really methodical drive for the Tigers.
Wyatt Austin kicks it off. Davis takes it around the 4-yard line looking for a hole. He's up to the 15, the 20. Flag is down. Up to the 30, and he's got a hold. He's tripped up by one of his teammates. Boy, it was green pastures ahead if he was able to get past one of his defender's feet, but it may not matter because there is a flag down.
Yeah, I couldn't tell where the flag was for. It was very early and thrown well down the field from the side judge. It looks like we've got a hold or an illegal block in the back here. But, yeah, Davis had a clear space, and he just had one too many blockers around him. Tripped up over his own guy, but at least he'll conserve his energy since it will be coming back either way.
Davis had a big kick return last year against Northwestern, as it's going to be an illegal block in the back against SNU, and not the way you want to start. I know ECU went 80 yards, but now you got a long field starting at your own 15.
Yeah, and with ECU taking up that much time and scoring a touchdown, it puts a smidge of pressure on SNU coming out here and trying to do the same and trying to duplicate the production.
Senior Jacob Spady at quarterback. He's going to start in a shotgun formation. He sends Walker in motion. Ramos in the backfield. Ramos is going to take the carry, looking for a little space, breaks a few tackles, and picks up 3, maybe 4 yards, or it'll be 2nd down.
Some good, tough running there from Ramos, and you're going to have to get every yard you can. Big athletic front for ECU. Looks like they're kind of starting out here in a 4-man front. Dropping down that outside linebacker, Grant Coffey and Jamil Young.
Pistol set here for SNU on 2nd and 6. Walker comes in motion. Actually, it's a read option. Spady kept it, picked up a few, and you've got a 3rd down here for SNU.
Big opportunity here for the ECU defense to get off the field, give their offense another shot. SNU really needs to sustain some drive here. It doesn't necessarily need to be points, but they need to sustain something just to give their defense a little bit of a breather.
I was like, their defense on the field for 7.5 minutes to start this game. They really need a 1st down here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun formation. Man in motion. It is a read option again by Spady, and he was hesitant to hit the hole, and he's not going to get the 1st down, and it will be a 3 and out to start the game, just what the East Central defense wanted.
Yeah, too much hesitation there from Spady. It looked like he had some opportunities to either cut it to the outside or just run it up the middle, but he got indecisive trying to pick between the two and ended up only with a 1-yard gain. I don't know if he would have been able to get the 1st down with either one of those options, but a little bit more decision certainly would have made it a closer deal.
Ryan Reed set to punt for the Crimson Storm, and you've got the very dangerous Trinity Benson back deep. Reed sends it off. High end over end kick. Benson's going to have a chance at the 35. He heads to his right. He's got one block. That's going to be a block in the back, so they're going to lose 15, and he's taken down. He kind of saw it happen right in front of Benson.
Yeah, easy call there. It looked like Jacoby Hicks for SNU is the one who got blocked in the back there, but really good coverage from SNU anyway.
Absolutely. When you have somebody dangerous like Benson, that was a great downfield coverage by the SNU punt team.
Yeah, especially because it looked like he had a little bit more space than he ended up having. It looks like Gage Porter is also down on the field back on the SNU side of things.
As we await the call. And it was an illegal block in the back. So East Central's going to start 1st and 10 on the 26. But as we mentioned, we have a man down and actually just got up. We were about to take a break, but good to see Gage Porter up and walking off the field on his own power. And so we'll stay with you and get ready to start drive number 2. 5:13 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 your score. East Central leads. And actually, as I say that, we will take a timeout. So again, 5:13 to go. ECU 7, SNU 0. .5:13 to play in the first quarter. ECU 7, Southern Nazarene 0. James Hill here with Luke McConnell. Home opener here for Southern Nazarene. East Central starting their second drive. Starting in the pistol formation with Tyson Jones in the backfield. Cornwall back in at quarterback. And Jones will get the carry. Cuts to the outside and just continues to move forward. Probably turned a 3-4 yard run into a 5-6 yard run. Just hard running there by Tyson Jones, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, really, really tough running there from Jones. And a lot of backups on the field right now for SNU, both up front and at the linebacker position, is trying to get some breathers for the starters after a 7-minute drive to start, and now they're already back out on the field. So SNU trying to keep the stamina up as much as possible. Don't want to get this game out of hand this early.
Cornwall shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the left, and he's going to hand it to Jones, and he doesn't go anywhere that time. Wrapped up in the backfield, number 91, Ryan Lara, got to him first, and it's going to be another 3rd down situation for ECU.
Yeah, that's a terrific play off the edge, just collapsing down from Lara, just making the right read there on the ball, on the exchange, and just collapsing down very quickly. Excellent job.
Can SNU get off the field? They could use a 3 and out on this drive. 3rd down and 3. Shotgun formation. Jones in the backfield with Cornwall. 2 receivers to Cornwall's left. SNU shows blitz. They're going to bring 5. And they're going to go down to then. What a nice catch there by Benson. You could see Harris really closed down nicely, but Benson able to hold on to it and get the 1st down.
Yeah, really, really close. Good route right at the sticks. Good tackle there from Dorian Harris, but Benson able to just get enough for the 1st down. Really nice throw from Cornwall.
It's like Benson knew a hit was coming, and he was still able to hang on to the football and get the 1st down. And so, again, this is already kind of shaping up like the first drive. ECU just getting in those 3rd and manageables, and they're able to make something happen. Cornwall is going to be in shotgun formation. 2 backs in the backfield, both Armstrong and Jones. Also 2 receivers to the right, and the flag is down. I saw somebody running off the field. This could be an illegal substitution on the Tigers. We will await the call.
Well, if everybody's out there, they only had 10 out there. Somebody just came back on the field, 88, Harvey.
And it will be against the Tigers. Clearly some confusion among this ECU offense. We're still kind of waiting on the official word. And it is an illegal substitution. That sends the Tigers back 5 yards, where it will be 1st and 15. And this is the time SNU, this is where they need to take advantage on defense when they get East Central in some longer situations, especially with the power running game we've seen so far from them.
Yes, ECU's been able to done a nice job of staying ahead of the sticks, and now with 1st and 15, advantage SNU. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Cornwall's going to flip it out to Armstrong. Armstrong brings it in, now tries to cut up the field, and he's going to be tackled for a short gain. You could tell that pass from Cornwall was behind him. He kind of had to gather himself before he could get his momentum going up the field.
Yeah, really nice job swarming to the ball by the SNU defense, limiting the gain to just 1 there. Really nice job attacking that. And like you said, not the best throw from Cornwall.
So it's going to be 2nd and 14 for the Tigers. We're at 2.5 minutes here in the first quarter. ECU took their opening drive, 15 plays, 80 yards to take the early 7-0 lead. Pistol formation with Tyson Jones in the backfield. Cornwall will hand it to Jones. Jones to the right side, cuts back. He's got a lot of room, and he powers forward down to the 40-yard line. Good pickup there by Jones. Makes this third down. It'll still be a long one, but a little bit more manageable for the Tigers.
Really nice job by the left tackle, Art Gomez, just washing down the defensive end for SNU on that play. Allowed Jones to get up to the second level and with a nice pickup make this, a third and fairly manageable 7.
Big play here for SNU. They need to get off the field and not let this drive continue. 3rd and 7. Shotgun formation for Cornwall. Jones to his right. He'll go back to pass. He's looking for Benson. And now he's going to go deep, and it's going to be intercepted! Intercepted by Dorian Harris. That was just a sitting duck out there, and Harris just played it at the high point, and it's the first turnover of the day for the SNU defense.
Huge play there from Harris, and a great job from the SNU defense. Marin Biletich up the middle at the nose guard, just bull rushing the center, getting back in the lap of David Cornwell, and not a good throw from Cornwell at all. Just kind of put it up for grabs, and the wind is coming. He threw that into the wind, so it just really fluttered and died as he was trying to find Trey Walker on the outside, but really great push from Biletich up the middle. That's definitely what caused that interception.
Biletich, one of the team captains today, him along with fellow defensive lineman number 33, Derek Gillis. All right, so SNU will start their second drive after going 3 and out on their first drive. See what they can do with better field position. It's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Pistol set for Jacob Spady. 2 receivers to his left. Play action. Spady going to throw it across, and what a great catch. A very nice catch by number 11, Reed Roloffs, and it is a first down for SNU, their first of the game.
Terrific catch from Roloffs. A nice throw from Spady in traffic. Probably not the most advisable throw, but he put it right where only Roloffs could get in. Roloffs made a great hands catch there.
It always helps when you have that 6'5" frame that you can throw to in Reed Roloffs. It's 1st and 10 now at the 48. Man in motion. Spady back to pass. It's going to be a screen pass. Devin Brady up the middle into ECU territory. A flag comes in late, and we'll see what that's all about here in a moment. You also have a man down. And we're going to get an official's timeout. We'll get the call real quick.
Looks like that's Joby for ECU. One of the middle linebackers there, holding his ankle, and the flag came from the back judge. Not sure what this is going to be.
I already pointed to SNU. I did not catch the call, but it is on the Crimson Storm. Spady trying to get a little explanation here. A well set up tight end screen.
Judging by the fact that Joey was holding his ankle, I wonder if this is going to be one of the illegal block below the waist. Nope, just a hold. Okay.
So holding on SNU. It is a spot foul. So it makes it 1st and 13. They go back to their own 45-yard line. So still somewhat manageable for the Crimson Storm. And so SNU will set up. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield, and then you have Devin Brady kind of pushed up a little bit. Interesting formation. Ramos will take the carry, picks up maybe 2. That'll make it 2nd and 11.
Nice job by Marcel Relaford, the defensive end from Oakland, California for ECU. Got off his block very quickly and was able to make that tackle on Ramos after a very short gain. And it looks like right guard Will Bates is down on the field holding his right ankle now.
So Will Bates is down. We'll take a quick break. 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. ECU 7, SNU 0. Back here at SNU football field, here on a nice, cool evening in Bethany. 7-0 to score. ECU leading SNU in the Crimson Storm's home opener. As the clock starts, pistol set, 2 backs on both sides, or a back to each side of Spady, and then Ramos in the backfield. Play action, Spady back to pass. He's looking deep into traffic. Was trying to get the roll-offs, but he was double covered there, and that'll make it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, a lot of contact there around roll-offs, but I think a good no call. It just was not a good decision from Spady, and lucky that wasn't a better pass to roll-offs, or else that definitely would have been intercepted.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 here for the Crimson Storm. Had a little something going on this drive until the holding penalty sent them back to their own 45. They got 10 seconds on the play clock here. Going to have to hurry. Now play clock down to 5. Spady's going to be in a pistol set and a timeout. Just from the start, looked like a lot of confusion. And with 17 seconds, we'll stick with the broadcast here. So far early on, East Central really controlling the clock. SNU still trying to get some things figured out on the offensive side.
Yeah, and like you said, this drive started promising. Couple good plays with that holding call kind of negated all the momentum that they had worked up there. And now you've got a 3rd and long situation here, right around midfield. So and it's difficult to see. SNU hadn't had the ball long enough to really kind of establish any sort of rhythm or give us any indication of what they're really trying to do. Really, honestly, a few more. In the few plays that they've had, a few more passes than I was expecting at this point. They've run 8 or 9 plays to this point and, tried to throw the ball down the field, 3 or 4 of those. So kind of a little bit surprising, I think, given, what they had hoped to do today.
Well, I think what you kind of alluded to on the last turnover by East Central, you do have the wind at your back right now. It's not a heavy wind, but it's still enough that it could make a little bit of a difference. So maybe SNU trying to take a little bit of advantage of that sort of that field position right now before we flip in 17 seconds. So Spady's going to come out, 3rd and 11, back in that pistol set. 2 receivers, both roll-offs and Walker to his right. Walker will come in motion. Spady back to pass, looking for roll-offs. He catches it, spins, and he got enough for the 1st down. He knew where the sticks were, and he picks up 12 yards and a 1st down for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, that's a terrific play from roll-offs, both in the route that he ran, a great throw from Spady, great timing on that, and like you said, the spin move. I think he would have had the 1st down anyway, but the spin move definitely assured him of getting just enough, and that'll bring us to the end of the 1st quarter.
We have played 1 here in Bethany. Your score, East Central 7, Southern Nazarene 0. We will flip sides and continue this SNU drive on the other side of this break. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Back here in Bethany, 7-0 your score. East Central leading SNU. Southern Nazarene got a little drive going here into Tiger territory. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Walker's going to come in motion. Going to quit a screen pass to the right side, looking for a little room. The shifty Walker down the middle of the field. He'll take this all the way. Touchdown, Southern Nazarene. Spady to Walker, 41 yards.
Oh, what a terrific job by Walker, seeing the blocks, running on the outside of those blocks. What a terrific job with vision there, and really terrific blocking there on the outside. Just a well-designed play for the Crimson Storm to even this one up.
One of the playmakers on the team. You could see it when he touches the ball. So electric. Couple moves and cuts it back to a wide open middle of the field. Anguiano on for the extra point. And the kick is up. And it is good. First play of the second quarter. What a start. 14:49 to play here in the first half. And we are tied at 7 apiece. And we'll stick with you here in Bethany. And, well, you needed a little spark there, Luke. There you go. What a play.
Oh, absolutely. Just a well-designed play. And, again, being ahead of the sticks, generating that offensive momentum allows you a little bit more freedom with your playbook. And, with Walker being such a speedster on the outside, again, you wanted to see what ECU would be doing with locking down the outside, and SNU being able to move men in motion. That was a great example there of just a well-designed, well-blocked play. And Walker, a lot of individual effort on that part. The blocks were there, but getting it all the way to the end zone was, a lot on Walker's speed and wiggle there.
I tell you, and the thing you could feel in this stadium, this was a team that was shut out last week and struggled on offense. That sideline just exploded on that long run. You can kind of feel the energy on this bench. You could just tell it was like, there we go. And maybe that can build some confidence in this offense, maybe throughout the rest of this game.
Oh, definitely. It's always easier after you see the first one happen. Whether that be a touchdown, a hit in baseball, a basket in basketball. The first time that happens, it just makes it a whole lot easier. So it'll be great. It'd be great going forward for the SNU offense. We'll see if they're able to sustain that momentum. But it's a lot easier to go out there and play defense when you're tied instead of down.
Anguiano set to kick off here for the Crimson Storm. Gordon and Jefferson back deep for the Tigers. Anguiano approaches and sends it off. It's a short kind of squib kick, and it'll be taken at the 30-yard line. A fair catch by Tony Garland on the move, but he brings it in at the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Big opportunity here for SNU to continue the momentum from that touchdown. Let's see what that does for the defense and the kind of juice it gives them.
Now, quickly, we'll run through some quick first quarter stats. Tyson Jones, 6 carries, 44 yards early on. You had David Cornwall, 7 of 9 for 33 yards, but that interception. Trini Benson, 3 catches for 20 yards. Jacob Spady, 3 for 4 with 43 yards, but now you can add 41 more yards after that touchdown pass. Pistol set to start things. Armstrong in the backfield. Armstrong's going to get the carry. He goes to his left side looking for a little room, and he will be brought down after about a 4-yard run. The defense really pushed that to the outside, and they were finally able to bring him down where it will be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, really nice job in pursuit there from Josh Jordan, really making his presence known in this game from that safety position. He's been all over the place, deep in the backfield. He's made a lot of great plays for the SNU defense so far in this one.
Well, as we mentioned, he was a second-team All-GAC selection just a year ago, and you can see why. Cornwall back in the pistol set. Armstrong still in the backfield. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Cornwall looking to the left side on the quick hitch, and it is complete to Benson. He's run out of bounds there by Davis at the 39-yard line. And yet again for East Central, 3rd and manageable. This time it'll be 3rd and 1, where they've been almost unstoppable in the running game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if SNU makes any adjustments here, loading up the box a little bit more perhaps. Doesn't look like it at this point. Still a pretty standard formation they've been using throughout this first half. Linebackers not any closer to the line of scrimmage. You might want to see them get a little bit tighter there.
One back set. Benson comes in motion. They'll give it to Armstrong. He's got the first down, drives forward for a few extra yards, And another first down for East Central. And if you're the Tigers, you'll take this all day, set up those third and manageables, and just use your power rushing attack to just take it right up the middle.
Absolutely. There is no need to be in any rush. Their MO is control the clock just like SNU's is. And they've done a terrific job doing that so far.
This is a really tight set here. Now they will break off. Turns into an offset I. Jones back in the backfield. He's going to take the carry, and that's for the first time today. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. The official actually giving him the line of scrimmage. Looked like he maybe lost a yard there. Great push there from the SNU defense.
Yes, excellent job clogging the middle. Miles Roll flying over the pile there at the end. Kind of a risky play. Lucky for him, it looked like he didn't really make any contact there, and the official was gracious not to give him a flag, but got to keep it toned down just a little bit there, Miles.
2nd and 10 for East Central. A tight and a bunch set to the right. Armstrong in the backfield. It'll be a play action. Cornwall rolling to his right. He's got a lot of pressure. Just gets rid of it, and it's almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of number 22, Daniel Flynn. Almost a big turnover for SNU.
Yeah, the senior with terrific coverage there on Armstrong in the flat. And again, pressure on Cornwall led him to make a poor decision and a poor throw, and almost another turnover for SNU. So we kind of can see if we can rattle Cornwall, it's going to be an interesting afternoon and evening here for this SNU defense if they're able to continue to pressure Cornwall.
3rd and 10 for East Central. 2 receivers and a tight end to the right. Cornwell's going to go deep, and it is incomplete as he was looking for Houston Haynes. A little bit dangerous there as that was actually Dorian Harris, kind of went over the top and knocked the receiver down, but it looked like it was uncatchable regardless.
Yeah, it just looked like their feet got tangled up a little bit, and nice job by the back judge and the side judge down there by not throwing a flag. It looked like just some incidental contact, 2 players kind of getting in the angle to make the reception or interception. And a nice stand for the SNU defense there, capitalizing on the momentum from the offense and getting their offense the ball back.
Jack Preston to punt. Reed Roloff's back deep. Have a little bit of a low line drive. Roloff's calls for a fair catch, and he'll take it around the 18-yard line, and that's where the SNU offense will start. So the SNU defense getting a big stop, really stepping it up. We are tied at 7, 12-18 to play in the first half. Back here at SNU Football Field here in Bethany, James Hill and Luke McConnell here on the call for the home opener for the Crimson Storm. 7-7 is your score, 12-18 to play in the first half. And been a little bit 2 different sides so far. Big drive to start for East Central that went 15 plays and took over 7 minutes off the clock. But since then, the SNU defense has rose to the occasion. And now SNU is going to come back out for their 3rd drive of the day, seeing if they can cash in from the earlier drive. Walker's coming in motion. He's going to get a jet sweep, gets up the field, fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by East Central. And that's exactly what the Tigers were looking for. Walker just trying to do maybe a little too much and just did not secure the football.
Yeah, just just poor ball security is all it was. It wasn't even a hard tackle. Didn't even look like it was a hat on the ball or really punched out too much. Just bad ball security on Walker while he was trying to juke a defender that, he wasn't going to juke at that point. So, yeah, maybe just doing a little bit too much. And the defense right back out on the field for SNU.
Justin Hayden forced the fumble, and as you alluded to, Luke, I don't think he did anything too special other than wrap him up, and I think he was just able to get a piece of it on the wrap-up. And now East Central is going to start in the red zone at the SNU 17. Tyson Jones in the backfield. Pistol set, 2 tight ends in the game. Cornwall will hand it to actually a play action. A good one there by Jones. Going to the end zone. Intercepted! It is intercepted by Davis. And what a turn of events.
Got a turnover fest here now, James. Just a terrible throw from Cornwall. He had a receiver wide open. Harvey was wide open. He just threw it on a line, didn't put any air under it. And when you've got, Harvey stands 6'2", 230, he's a big guy. Give it air and let him go up and make a play against the 5'10 corner who's out there in the flat.
And you can tell Cornwall, it just seemed like he was looking down that receiver the whole way, and it just played right into Harris's hands. He just read it, and as soon as it was let go, he made a great break on the ball. What a huge turnover, and so just like that, SNU has the ball back. Second, I tell you, Luke, this secondary is playing excellent so far.
Yeah, the secondary's been the story of the game so far for the SNU defense, no doubt.
A read option with Walker. Spady keeps it and does not get anything, maybe a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 9. That's one thing we've seen so far. Kind of interesting this game. SNU's had more success in the passing game, really hasn't been able to get much going on the ground.
Yeah, that's only Spady's 3rd carry of the game, and, last week we saw him, run the ball a lot. And that was their primary form of offense last week was Spady rushing attempt. So kind of interesting to see them hand the ball off and, like you said, throw the ball a little bit more, especially given the lack of success that they had in the past last week.
Shotgun formation, 1 back in the backfield with Spady, 5 seconds on the play clock. It's going to be a screen pass, and that one was just a little bit of a miscommunication from the start. Was looking for roll-offs. He ran into one of his linemen, and that's going to make it 3rd and 9.
Yeah, hard to tell if roll-offs didn't or ran that too deep or if the linemen were unable to get deep enough down the field for roll-offs to come in behind them. But either way, the ECU defensive line blew that play up. Spady was under pressure, and they blew up the blocks as well. So all in all, that play wasn't going anywhere.
We mentioned the SNU passing game today. East Central does come in 11th in the GAC, allowing 315 yards passing a game. So maybe SNU saw something that they could take advantage of as they're going to go deep here, looking for roll-offs. Wasn't able to bring it in. Good breakup on the play by number 28, Jonathan Mendez, the safety, and it's a 3 and out for SNU.
Yeah, really nice defense there. He was right in his hip pocket, and roll-offs tried to pick the ball right off his helmet, but good job by Mendez there on the deflection to just knock that ball away and not give roll-offs a second opportunity at it. And neither team taking advantage of the turnovers so far.
Second punt of the day coming up for Ryan Reed, and then you have the always dangerous Trinity Benson standing at about the 42-yard line. Good snap. Reed, the left footer, sends one high. Benson takes it, though, at around the 47-yard line. He's around the left side, looking to put a move, but he gets into SNU territory where he's down at about the 47. So it'll be good field position to start for the Tigers. However, the story so far, the running game has been pretty strong here for East Central, but the passing game really struggling as Cornwall has been under a lot of pressure, and then, of course, he's had some tough throws that have been picked off so far.
Yeah, Cornwall, we talked about it in the pregame. He's got the physical tools. He's got great size. He's got a great arm, but he just apparently not a very accurate passer, doesn't make the best decisions, and we've seen that so far today.
Pistol set, Cornwall with Jones in the backfield. Jones gets the carry, and he's hit right away at the line, maybe picked up a yard, but nowhere to go. And this SNU defense, ever since that first drive, has looked very strong.
Yeah, great job by Spurlock there, number 39 for SNU, forcing the action on the give, and then Trayvon Hadley, the freshman outside linebacker, making a great tackle one-on-one there in the hole. just a short gain.
Hadley, an impressive freshman. You know, you saw some looks from him last week, and you're seeing him today as well. As it'll be 2nd and 9. Jones again in the backfield, pistol set. Cornwall back to pass. Looks for Benson. Throw was off. It was caught. What a catch there by Trinity. Benson was able to stay in bounds on a very wild throw. Picks up 4, maybe 5, and that makes it 3rd and manageable yet again for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's another example of Cornwall just not being very accurate. Benson had plenty of cushion from Davis on the outside. Easily could have caught the ball standing up and perhaps made a move for the first down, but the inaccurate throw forced him to go to the ground to make the catch.
Cornwall, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right. He's back to pass, looking for Benson again, intercepted again by SNU! Down the left side, Angel Hernandez will take it all the way! Touchdown, Southern Nazarene! 60-yard interception return, the 3rd interception for this SNU defense.
And again, just who we were talking about, Trayvon Hadley coming untouched on the blitz, rocked Cornwall right as he let that one go, and Hernandez made a terrific break on the ball and just took that to the house.
Unbelievable. Anguiano on for the extra point. Snap down, hold down, kick is up. Kick is good. 9:33 to play here in the first half. Your score, Southern Nazarene 14, East Central 7.
You know, at some point, I think you have to wonder, if you're East Central, do we make a change of quarterback?
I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
You've got 3 interceptions now, none of them good decisions. You know, all terrific plays by the SNU defenders as well, but none of them were, you know, tight throws or anything. They're just not good decision-making on Cornwall's part. And this a week after, he was just 11 of 29 against OBU. You got to question, you know, what do we do if we're East Central? We have a physically talented quarterback that is just not making good decisions. You know, do we do something different and bring in the backup, Ray John Austin Ramsey?
Well, and the thing you can tell with Cornwall is, again, he keeps just looking down his receivers, and I think the SNU defense is simply just following the quarterback's eyes and just following the football. Because there's no looking, it's almost a predetermined of where you're going before, but taking too long to get the ball out. And SNU is taking advantage now. 3 turnovers in the first half by East Central, all via interception, as Anguiano is set to kick off. And coming to the right side and taking it will be Akeem Gordon. He picks it up now at the 12, and he's going nowhere. A host of SNU kickoff coverage men bring him down, and this will be the worst field position to start for East Central.
That's a great job by Christian Schellmeyer, the backup running back, getting down there and making that play. He made the play on the opening kickoff as well, so really nice job on special teams by, you know, those kickoffs are kind of weird, but they're those short kickoffs, short of the end zone, you know, in front of the receivers are, you know, probably the most effective kickoffs out there in football today.
Cornwall remains in the game. Jones in the backfield. 1 back set. And will come in motion. And it will be a speed sweep and nowhere to go for Jeremiah Jefferson as he is hit in the backfield by Davis. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Just a nice job by Davis getting up the field quickly. You know, Jefferson's got some speed there, so really could have turned the corner, but a nice job on the outside, getting up the field by the defender there, and then Davis was able to come in and clean it up.
Cornwall back in a pistol set. He's got Benson to his left on an island. And then Jones in the backfield. Jones is going to get the carry, gets a little bit of room, powers forward, but picks up maybe 3, and that's going to make it 3rd and 7.
Great job by Dylan Bauer, the backup linebacker, getting his nose in there and making a nice tackle on Jones. just really undermining his ability to get up the field and keep those legs churning.
So another third down situation. East Central's actually been pretty good today on third down. Well, they'll face a 3rd and long. 4 of 8 today on third downs. Shotgun formation, one back to the right. Blitz being shown. The blitz is coming for SNU. Cornwall has plenty of time. Benson took his eye off it. There's a flag comes down late. Not sure where the flag came from, but a drop pass there by Benson.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. Looks like it's going to be an eligible man downfield.
Obviously, that will be declined, and it will be a 3 and out for this SNU defense. And Luke, this SNU defense has turned it on ever since that first drive.
Yeah, and they're playing sound fundamental football, and they are, taking advantage of Cornwall's erratic throwing. So they're playing really sound football, keeping their gap integrity and just getting their nose in there, making great tackles on the run game, and they've really stymied anything that ECU's trying to do here.
Jack Preston is going to punt for the 2nd time today. Roloffs will wait for the kick at his own 43-yard line. Low line drive. This is actually a really good kick. It's over the head of Roloffs. Will it get to the end zone? It will not. It's going to be down at around the 2-yard line. My goodness, what a punt by Preston.
That's an 81-yard punt.
That is amazing. It was a line drive. Roloffs had no chance. He kind of played a normal depth, but it was such a line drive with the wind behind him. And it just kept rolling. You almost thought it was going to roll to the end zone for a minute, but just died on the 2. You talk about flipping the field. Mark that in your notebooks. That could be a big turning point right there.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. Obviously a high for this year for sure as far as opponents' punts. We'll need to check and see if that might be the longest punt against SNU in their football history.
Parts of the season. So SNU, their backs to the end zone. Shotgun formation for Spady. They'll do a read option. Spady right up the middle and gives a little bit of breathing room to the Crimson Storm as he gets out to around the 7-yard line. So Spady's probably his best run of the day so far. Picks up 5. Will make it 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and you'd like to see SNU maintain a nice drive here. Keep the momentum going. Outside of the touchdown drive, haven't seen a ton from the offense either. With a turnover and then a couple punts as well.
Spady again, a read option right up the middle, and he gets about to the 10-yard line, close to the 11. That's going to make it 3rd and short. If you're SNU, you really want to pick up a first down here. You may not score, but you want to get a couple first downs just to get some more breathing room out of the back of your end zone.
Yeah, definitely. You certainly don't want to put Ryan Reed in a position where he's going to have to punt from the end zone. But then again, if he can kick an 81-yard punt, it might not be so bad.
Pistol set on 3rd and 2. Hard count there from Spady. They're going to get a new play from the sidelines.
You've got Gage Porter in there as well. The backup quarterback they use as a tailback as well.
Read option, it's going nowhere. Spady tries to move forward, but it's going to be a 3 and out. And I tell you, Jack Preston may have changed this game a little bit. You were looking at SNU getting great field position around midfield, and that 81-yard punt may have just changed everything.
Yeah, and now you've got SNU doing the exact same thing, but they're kicking into the wind. So trying to do the same thing will prove to be extremely difficult for the Crimson Storm, but let's see what Ryan Reed's able to do. A little bit too conservative, I think, on it for my taste down there at the end zone.
ECU might be coming here. They're up on the line. We'll see if they come. If they fall back, they do fall back. Reed sends it off. High punt. Not a lot of distance, though, and it's going to go backwards and then come back forwards and go out of bounds. However, East Central is going to start out in Southern Nazarene territory. And you talk about on East Central's last drive, starting at the 13, going nowhere. And now you get about 50 yards up to the 43-yard line. What a turn of events.
Yeah, and we'll see if East Central is able to take advantage of that. You know, neither offense has been able to establish much of a rhythm in either facet of the game, throwing or rushing. So let's see if ECU's able to do that. You'd think they'd want to get the ball in Trinity Benson's hands a little bit more in any way they can, whether it be a fly sweep or just some quick hitters.
Shotgun formation in Cornwall. Wow, out of the huddle is going to take a timeout. And that just is kind of a sign of what ECU's offense has been ever since that first drive. You just don't see that often, coming out of timeout and immediately, or coming out of for your first drive and immediately taking a timeout.
Yeah, just not good discipline at all for your senior quarterback. And know it's his first year in the program and things like that. But you know, you got to have a better grasp of what's going on around you. So, you know, I think what's really impressive for this SNU team today is that, you know, the East Central coaching staff is made up of a lot of graduate assistants from Wisconsin. You know, the Wisconsin Badgers, of course, not just from the state, but so they're, you know, a lot of their staff was on, you know, the Badger staff the past few years. And so essentially SNU had one game of film to try to figure out any tendencies of what East Central would be looking to do on both sides of the ball. So kudos to the SNU staff and the players for preparing well and being fundamentally sound, because at the end of the day, when you've got that limited amount of knowledge, being fundamentally sound is as much as you can do in some cases.
Cornwall in a shotgun formation, Armstrong in motion. They fake it to Armstrong, and it's tipped at the line. It's caught by a lineman, I believe. Boy, another dangerous pass there. Actually, it was Jones who came up with the catch. He loses a yard, but that got tipped by one of the D linemen, and almost disaster again for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was really strange. I couldn't tell if it was tipped or if it just slipped out of his hand. It didn't go very far, so I almost feel like it just slipped out of his hand. Either way, just a weird day for Cornwall so far.
2nd and 12 for East Central. Cornwall back in the pistol set. Armstrong in the backfield. Tight set. And they stay in this tight set, and they're going to run a little counter play here. Now that's Wisconsin football right there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of moving pieces, a lot of linemen. However, Armstrong picks up only about 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. Can this SNU defense come up big yet again?
Nice job by Hernandez, the linebacker, getting in there and making that tackle. And, you know, again, they have really limited the ECU run game. ECU last week ran for 218 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry. And SNU has done a great job limiting their space in this one.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right of Cornwall. Looking. It's a screen pass to Armstrong. Coming down, Roll can't make the tackle, but he's knocked out of bounds. I think he is just short of the first down. Great tackle there by number 31, Anthony Stevens.
Yeah, Roll had him dead to rights, just missed the tackle there, but Stevens with a nice tackle there to bring up a 4th and looks like a long 2, perhaps, about 2 yards. It's a really nice job from Stevens to clean up that. ECU will go for this in kind of this no man's land here.
Interesting situation here. East Central could still try to play the field position a little bit, but instead they're going to go for it. They're going to put 2 backs in the backfield with Jones, man in motion. They'll give it to Jones. Jones cuts back, and he goes nowhere. And it's a turnover on downs, and yet again, the SNU defense comes up huge.
Terrific job from the SNU defense. They got great penetration on the left side of the offensive line. Not sure what Jones was doing. I don't know if it was a called counter or what, but he definitely did not follow his blockers and looked like he had the space on the right side to get the first down, but he chose to cut it back when I think it was pretty needless. But SNU was there waiting for him. So another terrific stand from the SNU defense, giving the ball back to their offense.
3:46 to play here in the first half. SNU holds the 14-7 lead. Can the offense now, as we get into the waning seconds of the first half, can they get down the field and get some points on the board? And just as we saw from East Central, we'll see it from SNU. Coming out of the huddle from the sidelines. They take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. 3:46 to play in the first half. 14-7, SNU leads ECU. All right, back here, 1st and 10 for SNU. 3:46 to play in the first half. Jacob Spady, shotgun formation. And going to come in motion, and it's going to be the Spady read option. And Spady had a little bit of room before he's dragged down and only picks up 2 on the play. SNU's gone to that well a few times, but really not much, really all day from that read option.
Yeah, ECU not fooled at all by the motion from Trey Hills. And it looks like overall the motion that SNU's throwing at ECU is not doing anything to draw them outside or anything like that. So, and Spady, he's a hard runner, but he's not going to beat anybody one-on-one from an athletic standpoint. So, just had nowhere to go there.
2nd and 8, pistol set. Another read option. Spady right up the middle this time. Spady's got a first down now. And that's Spady's best run of the day, is to get out to around midfield. Had helmets flying from the offensive linemen, and they were still pushing hard. And we do have a man down on the field.
I think that's Devin Brady.
So Brady's down the field. We're going to take a timeout with him. 2:58 remaining in the first half. 14-7 SNU. Back here at SNU football field, 14-7 to score. The Crimson Storm leading the Tigers of East Central. James Hill on the call with Luke McConnell as we are getting into the waning seconds of a very exciting first half thus far. Spady in shotgun formation. Man in motion. This time it is handed off and nowhere to go for Trey Hills. Wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. And Luke, I'm interested that, the passing game has really worked well for SNU, and they've kind of gone away from it since.
Yeah, it is kind of strange that they've kind of, not necessarily abandoned it, but they're not sticking with what's working. It's almost like they're trying to do what they thought they would be doing the whole time, and that time, Corey Williams, the middle linebacker for East Central, not fooled at all, got up the field very quickly. And didn't even allow Hills to turn the corner there on that jet sweep.
Shotgun formation for Spady. He sends Walker in motion. That is a quarterback draw right up the middle and in the East Central territory. That was the same play that Nate Walker caught and took 41 yards to the house. This time, nice little play design. They fake that little screen and take the QB draw for close to a 10-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, really, really nice job there from Spady. Good hard run, well blocked by the offensive line, and that's the key for Spady. If he's going to get some yards, it's got to be well blocked. Offensive line's done a decent job so far here in the first half of giving him some space. But that was one of his best runs of the evening.
3rd and 4 at the ECU 44-yard line for Spady. Walker's going to come in motion, and it's another read option. It's another first down for Southern Nazarene. Spady gets it up to the 40-yard line. Now you got 1:09. So now you're thinking, if you're SNU, all right, we've got a shot here. We'll speed it up and do a quick 2-minute offense now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going into the win, so you really want to try to get a touchdown here because you don't want to put your kicker in the position where he's got to kick a long one into this wind.
Walker in motion, and a flag. Looks like somebody jumped. And SNU's going to go back 5.
It looks like they got Rolfels leaving leaving a little early from the line there. So that'll back him up 5 yards. And with 51 seconds, if you're going to try to get points, you got to put the ball in the air a little bit here.
No, and you've got some targets. Somebody like a Roloffs who's 6'5". It's somebody, if you get a man-to-man situation, there's not a lot of people who are going to stand up that tall with Roloffs. So it'll be 1st and 15 now from the ECU 45. 2 receivers to the right side for SNU. Now we've got a delay.
I was going to say we might have a 10-second runoff.
So we'll go down to 41 seconds. SNU passed on using a timeout. They only have 1 remaining. Makes sense. So they'll just accept the 10-second runoff.
They really have to put it in the air.
Well, yeah, you look to this right side. You got Roloffs and Nate Walker. I'm wondering if they'll do some sort of tandem here. Play action. Looking for Roloffs off his fingertips just a little bit high. Almost a little dangerous as it went off of his fingertips, but it will be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, Spady was under pressure there, and you would have liked to have him hold the ball just a split second more and maybe just kind of let it float out there in front of Roloffs and lead him on a little bit. Roloffs still a little bit covered there when he threw it, and so he had to throw it high and in traffic. So really tough play for Roloffs to come down with.
So that'll make it 2nd and 15. Devin Brady has checked back into the game, so good to see he is all right after coming off the field with the injury. Spady back to pass. He's going to look deep. Oh, and that's going to be a pass interference, you would think. There goes the flags. Roloffs practically tackled there. And so really an easy call.
Yeah, not really sure what Jalen Baldwin was doing there. We'll just chalk that up to a freshman mistake, but that was about as blatant as you can get.
Maybe he just realized there's a 6'5" guy coming at me. No thank you on this island. And I believe those are, in college, I believe those are spot fouls.
Nope. From the spot, yeah, well, from the line of scrimmage, it'd be 20, so it's going to be a 15-yarder. So it will result in a first down, but still, we're at the 30-yard line.
Well, you have the win in your face, but Anguiano, a pretty good leg. They can get another 5-10 yards. They'll be about in his range where with the wind in his face, you got a chance to at least put something on the board.
Yeah, it looks like Grant Coffey down for East Central outside linebacker.
We'll take a break with them. 32 seconds to play in the first half. 14-7. SNU leading ECU. Back here in Bethany, 14-7 to score. SNU with 32 seconds remaining in the first half. The Crimson Storm have got it down to the Tiger 30-yard line, looking to cash in on some points before the break. And keep in mind, Luke McConnell, if SNU can get some points, they do start the second half with the football.
Yeah, this is a great position if you're SNU. You definitely don't want to take too many risks. I mean, you want to try to get a touchdown if you can, but you don't want to take an unnecessary risk and give ECU any momentum here at the end of the half.
Shotgun formation for Spady, 2 receivers on each side. Spady back to pass, has some time, now steps up. He's got a lot of room, puts a nice little move. Another one, and down to the 25-yard line. SNU is going to use their last time out with 23 seconds to play. Nice job by Spady. He felt the pressure there coming from the ends and just stepped right up in the pocket and able to pick up 5. And SNU in a pretty good spot. Timeout taken. We also have a man down.
Got another ECU guy down holding his knee. And just really an unfortunate position for Tristan McCubbins there for SNU, who was kind of caught in no man's land as Spady stepped up to run and kind of got in his quarterback's way just a smidge, at least enough to slow him down for the ECU defense to converge. But really unfortunate for East Central here. This is, I believe, the 4th starter on defense that has gone down with an injury, and we haven't seen either of the other 3 come back just yet.
Absolutely. It's been a tough luck here for ECU. Now, as we focus back on Southern Nazarene here in the waning seconds. So that was the final timeout for Southern Nazarene. They have none remaining. So you got a 2nd and 5 coming up. You look like you're in pretty good, in decent shape where Anguiano can at least try a kick from here. You got to be careful. You can take some shots here, but you got to be careful that either you're getting out of bounds or getting to those sticks where the clock can stop at least momentarily.
Yeah, you got to have everything to the outside or past the first down marker, or else you're going to run out of time. There's no other time for you to do anything besides that at this point. Can't chance anything down the middle of the field unless you're going to get a first down, get up, and clock it.
And that's interesting. You know, I wonder as they set up in the shotgun formation, you see Nate Walker going to the right side. You wonder if maybe they'll try something with roll-offs, maybe right up those seams. Maybe they feel like the middle could be a little more open if they can get past those sticks. We'll see. 2nd and 5, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. Spady looks to his left, now goes right. He's going right down the middle to roll-offs, and it's caught. First down.
All right, they're going to kill it here.
Well, the clock is stopped. If they can get a play, if they got a play ready, they can go. But I think you're right. I think they're just going to put it in the ground, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And just as I said, roll-offs right up that seam. They figured that middle was going to be open. And what a catch by roll-offs.
Yeah, and that's their bread and butter pass play, where you've got the slot guy coming right down the seam there. You got a guy going on a wheel route from motion. That is definitely their bread and butter play. It's something that we will see a lot throughout the evening on passing downs.
2nd and goal. You wonder now, as Walker comes in motion, maybe go to roll-offs, just a jump ball, and that's what they're going to do. Roll-offs to the end zone! And a nice break up there. Ooh, and a little bit of taunting, and that's going to be a flag. Just a dumb move there by Baldwin. Just got in the face of roll-offs, said, no, sir, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, not a smart play. Another freshman mistake right after he had atoned for the blatant pass interference earlier.
That was a great play.
Yeah, just a really excellent defensive play. Staying right in front of roll-offs, jumping with him. But the unsportsmanlike conduct will move the ball down to the 3-yard line now and give SNU a 1st and goal now at the 3.5. Doesn't really change anything as far as what SNU is able to do. You still can't really run the ball unless you've got wide open space, so you're still looking at a pass either way.
You've got to think jump balls here to either roll-offs or Brady, one or the other. You figure throw it up, see if they can bring it down. 1st and goal. Walker in motion. It's going to be a slant to roll-offs, and boy, he was held a lot there, but no flag. And it'll go to 2nd and goal. Still 10 seconds on the clock. Really, SNU's playing this perfect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any play that happens here outside of Spady scrambling to buy time is only going to take 3 or 4 seconds tops. So you've got 2 more of those, and then you can just kick a field goal if all goes poorly.
And SNU's got to remember that a field goal makes it a 2-possession game. So no matter what, you need to be walking away with a field goal at the minimum.
Absolutely.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers each side. Spady again to the end zone. Oh, almost intercepted, then almost taken out of the hands by Roloffs. It was almost intercepted by Lyndon Edwards. Roloffs just takes it out of his hands and wasn't able to hold on to it.
Yeah, Roloffs had to play defensive back on that one because Edwards definitely had the position and had Edwards on Roloffs. You know, and you probably would like to see Roloffs go back to the other side against the freshman.
Well, you have Brady on that side. You wonder maybe they'll try Brady on the right side with 6 seconds left. No, they're going to try Roloffs again. Touchdown! SNU! Roloffs goes up and gets it. And SNU scores with 2 seconds remaining.
Just hammering away at that. And if you're ECU, you got to wonder why you didn't shade another safety over there. Give him some more help, but SNU made it pretty clear what they were trying to do there, and finally the third time paid off there. Well, really the fourth time paid off for SNU with a huge touchdown with 2 seconds left.
A little bit of a limp for Roloffs as he comes off the field, but what a catch from 2 yards out. Anguiano on for the kick. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up, and the kick is good. 21 unanswered points for the Crimson Storm. We only got 2 seconds left, so we'll stick with you here for the ensuing kickoff. Boy, the tide has turned here, and as long as SNU can run these 2 seconds out without any chaos, which I guess is easier said than done with the way this game's going, they're going to be taking a 21-7 lead into the break with getting the football back to start the second half.
Yeah, huge drive there. Really nicely executed, you know, some big pass plays, and then, of course, the penalties, the pass interference penalty and the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on Jalen Baldwin were huge as well. Hopefully, Roloffs didn't just pull a Bill Grammatica there and hurt himself celebrating, but hopefully he'll be all right after halftime. But, yeah, just got to run these last 2 seconds off and, you know, take advantage of the opportunity you have coming out of the locker room.
You know, we'll talk about it a little more when we get to halftime, but Jacob Spady, you know, we talked about last week how much he struggled. 4-16 was just kind of uncharacteristic. Different tone today. 6-13, 105 yards, and now 2 touchdown passes on the day. Looking more kind of like the quarterback I think most people were expecting this season.
Yes, definitely, and that's great for his confidence as well, and it just opens up the playbook a little bit more. I mean, when your quarterback's going 4-16, you don't really want to air the ball out too much.
2 seconds left. Anguiano's going to send it off here. Just a little squib kick. And it'll be picked up by the tight end, Garland. Garland going to go to the left side, breaks a tackle, and he's wrapped up finally. And that will end the first half. It was a great start for East Central. They jumped out to a 7-0 lead after a long drive, but it's been all SNU ever since. 3 interceptions in the first half, 21 unanswered points, and we go to the break with Southern Nazarene leading East Central 21-7. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some first half stats. And again, you're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. And now, halftime performance from the Sound of the Storm. Halftime here in Bethany, your score, Southern Nazarene 21, East Central 7, as what a first half it was. And we're going to run through some of those first half stats for you. SNU, 9 first downs in that first half. East Central with 8. Really, those first downs seemed to slow down after that first drive. Rushing yards, SNU, 15 carries, 47 yards. ECU, 20 carries, 66 yards. The passing yards, that's probably been the difference so far today. SNU at 105, East Central at 47. And then your total offense, SNU with 152 yards of offense, 100 coming in the second quarter alone. East Central with 113. SNU's punted 3 times with 36.3 yards average. East Central 2 punts, a 60.5-yard average, thanks in part to that 81-yard punt that we've seen in this game. Both teams with 4 penalties so far. East Central leading the time of possession, 18 minutes and 58 seconds to 10:56 for SNU. A lot of that, again, coming on that first drive, which took almost 8 minutes, 7.5 to be exact. ECU 4 of 10 on third down, SNU 3 of 6. ECU 1 of 2 on fourth down, 1 of 2 in the red zone, SNU 1 of 3 in the red zone. Some individual stats. Tyson Jones leads the way for East Central, 10 carries, 48 yards. You know, he started in the first quarter. First quarter, Tyson Jones had 6 carries for 44 yards. Ever since then, 4 carries, 4 yards. So the SNU defense really stepping up. Ruben Armstrong, 6 carries for 21 yards. David Cornwall, been a tough half for him, 11 of 18. He has thrown 1 touchdown, but he's also thrown 3 interceptions. He's been pretty off all game, even on his touchdown pass. It was a little off, if not for the great catch by Trinity Benson, who's leading the receivers with 5 catches, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Ruben Armstrong has 3 catches for 14 yards so far today. Defensively, Andre Shelton and Justin Hayden both with 4 tackles apiece. Lyndon Edwards and Cameron Jones each added 2. On the Southern Nazarene side, Jacob Spady, slow start running the ball, but he's gained some momentum here. 11 carries for 44 yards, and we're almost 2 carries for 6 yards. Spady through the air, 6 of 13 today, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Reed Roloffs leading all receivers, 4 catches, 56 yards and a score, as well as Nate Walker with a catch for 41 yards and a touchdown. Miles Roll leading the way with 7 tackles. Jaquel Davis, 6 tackles and an interception. Jake Hansen with 4 tackles. Derek Gillis with 3 tackles. And we also have to mention Dorian Harris and Angel Hernandez, each with interceptions in this game as well. Quick scoring summary so far, 7:21 in the first quarter. ECU, 15 plays, 80 yards, 7:42 off the clock. David Cornwall connected with Trinity Benson for a 6-yard touchdown and a 7-0 lead. SNU answered on the first play of the second quarter as Jacob Spady flipped one out to Nate Walker, who did the rest himself, going 41 yards for the score to tie it at 7. Capping a 6-play, 75-yard drive, taking a minute 50 off the clock. With 9:33 to play in the game, Angel Hernandez stepped in front of the David Cornwall pass and took it back 57 yards to the house and gave SNU their first lead at 14-7. And then right before the half, SNU capped a 13-play, 64-yard drive, taking up 3:46 off the clock as Jacob Spady connected with Reed Roloffs on a 3-yard go and get it. And it's a 21-7 lead for SNU. As we get close to starting the second half, we're still about 9 minutes out. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some more first half analysis, and we'll get you ready for the second half. Again, your score, Southern Nazarene 21, East Central 7. Back here at SNU Football Field for 21-7 your score. Southern Nazarene leading East Central. James Hill here with Luke McConnell. And Luke, quite an exciting first half, as we've said. And we'll start with the Southern Nazarene side. Defensively, I don't think you can say much more with how the defense are playing, getting 3 interceptions in that first half alone. And then on the offensive side, has it been perfect? No. But 2 scoring drives put together that have resulted in touchdowns. One to close that first half, which was really great and really a big momentum boost for this team. So talk a little bit about this SNU performance.
Yeah, I think the key's been the defense. The defense has played extremely well in the first half. The 3 interceptions were big, but really limiting the ECU rushing attack as well. ECU averaging just a shade over 3 yards per carry in the first half, and I think the tackling has been just phenomenal from SNU. Nowhere you can look just at the ECU passing attack to show just how good SNU's tackling has been, just them swarming to the ball. David Cornwall went 11 of 18 in the first half, which was a solid number, especially after going 11 of 29 last week. But just 47 yards through the air. So you're looking at just over 4 yards per completion and less than 3 yards per attempt, which is unbelievably small, numbers. So an excellent job by SNU to really limit the downfield options and to really be sure in their tackling in space when those completions happened for ECU. As far as offensively for SNU, not really anything consistent on the ground outside of that last drive. We saw some good things from Jacob Spady on some of the read options there at the end of the first half on a fantastic drive, 13 plays, 64 yards, burned the last 4 minutes essentially off the clock in the first half, and SNU will get the ball here to start the third quarter as well. So not a lot going for SNU on the ground, again, just averaging a little bit over 3 yards per carry. But Spady, excellent in the passing game, 6 of 13 in the first half with those 2 scores for 105 yards. So really good things going for SNU through the air, which we really didn't expect. We kind of expected a more solid ground game and ground approach, but great to see that SNU is doing great things through the air, and we'll see if that opens it up for the ground attack here in the second half.
And if you're East Central, obviously one thing that might be affecting the defense, unfortunately for them, they've had a few guys go down, and they may be getting a little deep into that second team, and we'll see if they can step up, because they're starting to get beat a little bit on some of those rushing attacks, and then you've seen the 2 scoring drives, and of course for the offensive side in East Central, do you get to the point where you have to make a decision with Cornwall and possibly go to Austin Ramsey? We will see as this game progresses.
Absolutely, and like you said, that depth will be tested on that ECU defense. We'll certainly see when they come out here to start this possession who will be able to go and who won't be able to go here in the second half.
Wyatt Austin to kick off to start the second half for East Central. Jaquel Davis. Lakeem Christmas back deep. Christmas at the 2. And here he comes, looking for space. Has a little hole. He goes to the left side. Look out! Lakeem Christmas down the left side. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Lakeem Christmas! He takes a spell. It's a 99-yard kickoff return, and SNU goes ahead 27-7.
Oh, unbelievable. What a play to start the second half. Christmas got a great block right down the middle, made one cut, and just used his speed the rest of the way. Terrific blocking from the Crimson Storm there, and wow, what a way to start the second half.
Anguiano on for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick up. Kick is good. And what a way to start the second half. We'll hang with you for a second. Only 15 seconds came off the clock, and SNU is now ahead 28-7. Hey, look at it this way. You've got to score from the offense. You've got to score from the defense. And now you can check that box, a score for the special teams.
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
if you're Andy Lambert, Yeah, that's a coach's dream, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? And it's vastly deflating, I think, for East Central, even more so than a traditional touchdown drive from the offense would have been. I mean, you come out and, you get a kickoff return for a touchdown. You generate all that momentum and, the excitement on the SNU sidelines. And now, they're just riding a major high at this point. So it's starting to snowball a little bit on East Central here.
I tell you, this East Central drive coming up, you thought maybe coming in, hey, what's East Central going to do on defense to try to get a stop? This East Central drive on the offensive end, this may be the play. This may be the time of the game for East Central. They've got to do something here, or just like you said, it's going to snowball maybe even more than it already has.
Oh, yeah, they have to respond here, no doubt about it. And you can see the confidence on the SNU sideline, just the excitement bouncing up and down, the dancing, even with the kickoff teams getting hype out there on the field. So, it's just an infectious thing. The big plays change momentum so much more, even with successful drives. It's just unbelievable, the difference.
Anguiano is set to kick off. Jefferson back deep. You also got Trinity Benson. He's usually the punt returner, not the kick returner. He's the up back, but he's back as well. The always dangerous Benson, maybe a little spark. Instead, it's going to be a little pooch kick. And coming and making the catch is Tony Garland. And I think anytime you do a kick like that, you're trusting your defense right now. You're willing to give them field position, around the 30-yard line because of the way your defense is playing.
Absolutely. And, I'm sure that they saw Benson back there as well. And you don't want to give in East Central any sort of spark as well. You want to they're down right now, so now you kind of want to step on them. They would have put a damper on that real quick.
Cornwall in shotgun formation with Jones. Jones is going to get the handoff to the left side, picks up around 3 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. And I am interested to see what the Tigers do here. Are they going to come out knowing they have to air it out, or are they going to stick to their game plan here?
Yeah, good penetration there from the Crimson Storm as Trayvon Hadley lost his helmet, so he comes out for a play. But, yeah, it will be interesting to see what East Central does here in the second half. Cornwell for all intents and purposes, he was accurate in the first half. I mean, he completed 14 of 18 passes, 3 to SNU. So his accuracy was better, but it just didn't go anywhere.
Blitz coming. Cornwell is going to look deep for Benson. Some tussling there, and they're going to get they'll get Davis there for a hold. He did have a little bit of Benson there down the right side, and it looks like pass interference coming here on the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, and that ball was in the air, so it will be pass interference and not just a hold. He gave a little tug on the shoulder pad there, which was probably the right call. I mean, it looked like it was an overthrow anyway, but certainly didn't want to take a chance on Benson getting away from him because he did look like he had a step on Davis there on the outside. So, but again, for either way, it's a pretty big play for East Central and gets them to midfield.
Notice Josh Jordan came right over to Jaquel Davis, put his arm around him, and just maybe tried to calm him down a little bit, like, hey, shake it off, short memory, and, bounce back right here as East Central's in the pistol set. Jones in the backfield. They're going to go to the left side for Jefferson. Jefferson corrals it and goes forward. And that's about the second time we've seen that, Luke. It ended up being okay there for Jefferson, but you saw he kind of caught it. Throw's just a little off where he's not catching it and getting up the field. He almost had to stop, collect himself, and then get up the field, and that probably cost him another couple of yards.
Yeah, he didn't lead him very well there, and looks like Davis is down for – Dorian Harris, I believe, is down for SNU right now on the field. But we've talked about Trinity Benson a lot tonight, and on that play, Jefferson was able to get as much as he got because of the blocking of Trinity Benson there. So it's good, always good to see your best players getting out and helping out a teammate by making the downfield block as well. As Harris comes off the field, looks like he should be all right. Not sure what happened there, so he'll go over to the bench with the trainer. But we'll see what happens there as
Lakeem Christmas goes out to take his place.
I was just going to say, big
On the
play
corner.
Christmas back into the game after his big kick return. He now comes in at corner.
I love Christmas.
One back set. Jones in the backfield will be a play action and a little dump off to the tight end. It'll be a first down for Nelson as he gets deep into SNU territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line.
Yeah, we saw that play in the first half from ECU, and SNU had great pursuit on Gardner on that first half play, and that one Gardner had a little bit more space, was able to pick up the first down.
They'll mark them at the 38 where it'll be 1st and 10. Tigers a little good drive going here. Can they cash in like they did to start the first half? Jones again in the backfield with Cornwall. He's back to pass, looking to his left side. Pump fakes, now goes to his right side, and it's dropped. Went right back to his tight end, Nelson, and he couldn't corral it.
Yeah, trying to get the double move for Trinity Benson, but Christmas and Josh Jordan right there with him, so Cornwall had to check it down to Gardner, who was unable to make the catch there. Was wide open, would have been a nice gain on first down, but now ECU a little bit behind the sticks here.
And Gardner, who just had that first down catch, couldn't bring that one in. Offset I formation, handoff to Jones. Jones, his best run since the first quarter, picks up 5 and gets it down to the 34-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and looks like actually about 6 here for the Tigers.
Yeah, pretty manageable situation here. As ECU takes out a couple tight ends and brings on some more wide receivers. So you got three wide out of 11 personnel here.
3 wide to the left of Cornwall. Benson in that slot. Jones in motion, back to pass, looking up the seam, plenty of time, now he's going to roll. Cornwall still looking, hit as he throws, going to the end zone. Cornwall brings it in, but he's out of bounds. Great coverage on the play for the Crimson Storm, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, even through the double team, Benson was able to make that catch right at the pylon, but just out of bounds. Cornwall just trying to make something happen. Again, terrific coverage down the field from SNU. We've seen that on multiple occasions where Cornwall gets through all of his progressions, and there's nothing there for him, so he's got to figure out something to do. And for the most part tonight, he's just kind of chucked it up and hoped somebody makes a play. Hasn't happened yet.
This could be one of the plays of the game right here. 4th and 6. East Central has to have it. Shotgun formation. Cornwall back to pass, looking to his left side. It's caught, and it will be a first down. The tight end, Trey Harvey, brings it in and moves it forward to the 25. Huge first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, good route by Harvey. Just found a soft spot in the coverage and just sat down in it just past the sticks, and Cornwall with a nice throw. Nice, calm, accurate pass right on the money, and ECU keeps the drive alive.
Really, one of the more, we talk about his accuracy. Even some of his completions have been a little bit off. That was one of Cornwall's better throws. Put it just right on the numbers,
Absolutely.
Right at the sticks, and an easy first down for the Tigers. As they're back in this offset eye with Ruben Armstrong in the backfield. Motion coming. Armstrong gets the handoff. Armstrong up the middle, breaks a few tackles, and a nice run down to the 19-yard line. 6-yard gain for Armstrong. Oh, and for SNU, you see Josh Jordan limping off. That's not good for the Crimson Storm.
No, not at all, as Anthony Stevens comes on the field to replace him. But, yeah, definitely don't want to see Josh Jordan out with an injury. But a really nice run there from Ruben Armstrong. Like you said, one of his best runs of the night so far. And, again, puts ECU in a favorable position ahead of the sticks, which they were able to do in the first quarter. But SNU's defense really limited that going forward.
One back set here. Heavy to the left side with a man in motion, and that's Benson. Benson gets the jet sweep. Benson to the end zone. Touchdown, East Central. Trinity Benson, his 4th touchdown of the season, and East Central back in it.
Yeah, just a really nice play design there. Really simple. Overloaded the left side. He had an extra tackle in there, plus 2 tight ends, and the running back got out in front of Benson as well. And just ECU just basically overmatched SNU with numbers at the point of attack there, and Benson was able to split the defense and get in for the touchdown. Huge response there for the Tigers.
Bobby Schmidt for the PAT. Snap and holder good. Kick is up. And it's no good. And, yeah, I believe Schmidt was the one who missed the PAT in their loss to Oklahoma Baptist in overtime, and he just pulled that to his right. So that could be big as we go forward in this game. 10:38 to play in the third quarter. SNU 28, ECU 13. We'll take a quick break. Set to kick off, SNU. We're set to receive. As the kick is off by Austin and goes out of bounds. And you know there had to be a little bit of fear there from that kickoff team after what happened on the last return. And Austin sends that one out of bounds.
Certainly, although they still kicked it pretty much right at him.
Yeah. And so SNU is going to start with good field position, and you know they have a 2-score lead, which is what they had at the half. But you know this drive becomes a little bit bigger after an impressive drive by East Central.
Yeah, if East Central is able to generate anything consistently on offense, you certainly want to combat that here. You know, with your own offense and establishing something. You know, again, outside of that last drive of the first half, you know, SNU didn't really do a ton offensively. You know, their first drive, they went 75 yards in 6 plays, but nothing consistent outside of that last drive before the half.
Shotgun formation for Spady. He's going to hand it off to Walker. Walker looking for a little bit of space, and he's got some. Just cuts it to the outside of Carlson. Well, you think if he could have just cut it up right there, probably could have got a few more yards, but 6 yards nonetheless, and a good start to this drive.
Yeah, and you know, he was following Brady through the hole, and I think if he had kept following Brady, it would have been a little bit more productive of a play. But I think, you know, Walker very, very quick, and Brady just a little bit slower through the hole. I think Walker was just looking for some space to utilize his speed and cut it to the outside to, I think, the detriment of the overall production of the play.
2nd and 4, shotgun formation for Spady. Ramos to his left, 2 receivers to his right, and it was supposed to look like an option read, but it was really more of a quarterback keeper, and Spady gets blown up there by Marcel Relaford, and no gain on the play, and that's going to set up a big 3rd and 4.
Yeah, ECU with great penetration there, and you know, with Spady and Ramos back there trying to, you know, fend off 4 ECU Tigers, and you know, no offense to Ramos, but he's not quite the build for holding off that kind of attack there.
So this is a 3rd and 4. ECU looking for this 3 and out. SNU trying to get something going here. Shotgun formation. Carlson in motion. Carlson gets a little bit of a late handoff, and he's going to get hit in the backfield. Spady almost looked unsure there for a minute and kind of gave it to Carlson last second, and that went nowhere, and it's a 3 and out for SNU.
Yeah, Carlson got a little bit of speed to get past the first guy. But number 21, Lyndon Edwards, who had a couple of good defensive plays in the first half with a big stick right at the line of scrimmage, and that'll force an SNU punt.
And you can hear the momentum and some noise being made on that visitor sideline. They know there's a shot here as Ryan Reed on to punt. And the dangerous Trinity Benson back deep. Reed takes it. High end over end punt. Benson takes it about the 17-yard line, and what great coverage there. What a tackle by number 22, Daniel Flynn. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, terrific coverage from Flynn, getting down there quickly and then, just grabbing and holding on. Sometimes that's all a good tackle is just grabbing and holding on until, the guy loses balance, and that was the case right there for Benson. So really, really terrific punt there from Reed and good coverage from Flynn.
Cornwall going to start in the pistol set with Ruben Armstrong behind him. 2 receivers to the right. A little bit of motion for the Tigers. They'll give it to Armstrong, makes a cut up the field, and picks up 3 yards up to the 20-yard line. It'll make it a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, really, really good job of tackling there again for SNU. And again, you like what you've seen from the SNU defense, really swarming to the ball. There have been very few one-on-one tackle opportunities for the Crimson Storm tonight. A lot of group tackling, a lot of, like we said, swarming to the football, making sure East Central doesn't have the opportunity to break a big one just by slipping one tackle.
Back in that one-back set, Armstrong remains in the game at tailback. Cornwall play action. Tight end comes out. And they'll throw it into the ground. They've run that play about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that little rollout with the tight end kind of coming out to the flat. SNU was all over that one.
Yeah, and Trey Harvey kind of running a levels route there with Gardner. Gardner was more of the shallow out, and Gardner was the deeper out right about the sticks. He ended that play just looking at Cornwall with his arms up because he definitely had space and was open. Not sure why Cornwall didn't pull the trigger on that. Maybe wasn't sure if he could get it over the corner that was on Gardner.
SNU going to see if they can respond with a 3-and-out of their own. Cornwall in the shotgun formation, back to pass, looking to his left. Under pressure, now he runs to his right. He has a little bit of room. Angel Hernandez is able to bring him down, and he is short to make it 4th down.
Yeah, great pressure forcing Cornwall out of the pocket. A little bit more speed than I would have expected from Cornwall. But great closing speed from Hernandez to cut him down short of the sticks, and good defensive stop there for SNU. And looks like Josh Jordan back out on the field to receive this punt, so that's a great sign for SNU.
Absolutely. Jordan back deep. Jack Preston set up in the punt. It is 4th and short. You imagine SNU is going to play it safe here. Just watch any sort of trickery. And Preston this time punt a little bit short. Takes a bounce and heads toward the sideline. It's going to be out of bounds around the 47-yard line. So not quite that 81-yard punt we saw earlier. And SNU is going to get good field position.
Yeah, thank goodness it wasn't that 81-yarder.
So SNU about to come back on the field. This East Central defense got off to a good start, getting a 3-and-out. We are about set to go here for SNU's 2nd drive of the 2nd half. As the play clock starts, SNU still not quite out of the huddle on the sideline. Now they come out. It's been good to see Reese Carlson back on the field this weekend, dressed out, and we've seen him kind of sporadically. He has been sprinkled in throughout the day. Shotgun formation with Walker in motion. They'll hand it off to Walker on this jet sweep. He's down the left side and out of bounds into East Central territory around the 47-yard line.
Yeah, good block by Ramos there on the outside, cutting down his man, allowing Walker to turn the corner there. And that's something we've seen officials cracking down on across the country, but all levels of football, is that, you can no longer block below the waist from the side. It has to be straight on. So nice job by Ramos being fundamentally sound there on that block.
2nd and 4 for SNU. From the Tiger 47-yard line. Again, Walker in motion. This time it's a read option. Spady right up the middle, and he gets the 1st down to the 38-yard line. And SNU taking advantage of the short field. Got something cooking here on their 2nd drive of the 2nd half.
Yeah, good eye from Spady, watching or paying attention to the linebackers flowing with Walker on the sweep, and having a great haul from the offensive line there, and really nice pickup.
SNU looking to the sideline. You can see already didn't really get a play till around 13, 12 seconds on the play clock. Maybe already trying to kill some clock off. Shotgun formation, Walker in motion again. Another read option. Spady again right up the middle, dragging tacklers with him and down to the 31-yard line. 7-yard gain's going to make it 2nd and short.
Yeah, nice run from Spady there. Oh, we got a lost helmet again.
Believe.
Let's say I don't see anybody hurt or a first down, so that's Sam Perkins. 2nd time he's lost his helmet tonight.
Shows you how hard he's going. So 2nd and 3 here for SNU. 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the Crimson Sword leading 28-13. Shotgun formation. Walker again in motion. Play action. Spady gonna go deep down the sidelines and just out of reach for Jacoby Hicks. And that'll make it 3rd and 3.
Carlson got a great break off the line and really looked like he had a beat on the safety there, Justin Hayden for ECU, who kind of grabbed him and looked like just to slow him up enough. But I think Carlson might have been the better option there for Spady on that play.
I like the thought there. You got a 2nd and short. Why not take a shot?
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the wind at your back here too.
So 3rd and 3 now. Carlson comes in motion. Another read option. Another first down for Spady as he gets inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Crimson Storm. However, we got a timeout on the field. Somebody from East Central is down, and we're going to take a break with them. 4:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. SNU 28, ECU 13. First and 10 from the 23-yard line. Southern Nazarene leading 28-13. Another nice drive being put together here by the Crimson Storm, looking to add on to this lead. Jacob Spady comes out in a shotgun formation. And we're going to get a timeout by SNU. Andy Lambert with the timeout. And we'll just we'll stick here for a second. So as we said, SNU putting together a nice drive. They started this second half with a bang as Lakeem Christmas, 99-yard kick return for 6. East Central had a response, and we sit at 28-13 right now.
Yeah, the number of timeouts out of dead ball situations has been, believe this might be our 4th tonight. 3rd or 4th for sure. Just
surprising.
Surprising, yeah. You think, but at the same time, it is the second game of the season. You're working in, new personnel at different levels, and, coaching staff is working with them at the same time. So, you've got a lot of new pieces out there in some form or facet. So, it's understandable that there would be a little bit of kinks as far as the communication goes, because as much as the actual plays still need work throughout the year, so does the communication. So, everybody's working out kinks at this point. But, yeah, this has been a fantastic drive for SNU here, taking up a lot of time here in the 3rd quarter. And, again, just holding on to that momentum that they really grabbed hold of at the end of the first half and with the Christmas kickoff return.
4:18 to play as the Crimson Storm are back out for 1st and 10. Walker again in motion. Another read option by Spady, just kind of pinballing off some defenders, but I believe picks up around 6 yards. And the Spady running game has really opened up here in the second half.
Yeah, I think that he's doing a better job
reading the end, reading the outside linebacker there that's crashing down. So he's doing a nice job with that. And, they're just giving him a few more opportunities here in the second half so far.
So 2nd and 5. And SNU's doing a good job taking some clock up as well. They've really been eating some clock on this drive. 2 backs in the backfield with Spady. 3 seconds on the play clock. Snap it at 1. They're going to give it to Rama. Actually, it's going to be another read option. Spady kept it, and this time got dropped for a loss. And that's going to make it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, just good penetration there from ECU. It still looked like the right read by Spady, but just some good individual defensive play up front from ECU, giving that one for a loss. So big 3rd down here for SNU, but you're definitely well in field goal range here. It'd be 37-yard field goal from here. So definitely in field goal range with the wind at your back, but obviously would like to keep the drive going and get it in the end zone.
Shotgun formation for Spady. 2 backs in the backfield. See Carlson set up in the slot, but instead they're going to hand off to Nate Walker, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe 2, and that's going to make it 4th down. And imagine Anguiano is going to come out and try a field goal here, and that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, number 52, Corey Williams, the senior inside linebacker for ECU's, probably been their most consistent player tonight on defense. He's been all over the place, has made several big plays like that, and another one right there tracking down the Speedy Walker for a 1-yard gain.
36-yard field goal for Anguiano on the left hash. Kick is up. It's got the distance, and it is good. Anguiano caps that drive. 2:01 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Southern Nazarene 31, East Central 13. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Back. 2:01 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 31-13 SNU leading ECU. Anguiano set to kick off. And back deep, you got Jeremiah Jefferson and Akeem Gordon. And Anguiano's going to kick it deep this time. And that's going to the back of the end zone for a touchback. And that's where ECU will take over. 1st and 10. Now down 3 scores yet again after that Anguiano field goal, as they will take the field and start at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're ECU, you probably need to start stretching the field a little bit. Both teams, they've thrown the ball a lot, but neither of them have really done more than intermediate routes. You've had a couple, 1 or 2 deep shots per team, but even those were kind of limited going into the end zone. So be interested to see if they stretch the field some.
It's going to be a reverse here to Trinity Benson. Benson trying to find some room. He's going to cut back to the other side where he does have some room. Look out, Trinity Benson down the right side. He's still going. He's in the SNU territory. And that's just a playmaker making a play, making something out of absolutely nothing.
Yeah, SNU did a nice job hemming him in on the near sideline here, but he just reversed field, and nobody for SNU was over there and was able to pick up a block or 2 and use that speed to cross midfield. And really big pickup there and a nice job for ECU.
He is a fun player to watch. As ECU back out, pistol set, Ruben Armstrong in the backfield. Seen a lot more Armstrong here in the third quarter than we have Jones, and Armstrong's going to take a carry to the right side and plunge his way forward about a 5-yard gain down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and Armstrong's been really effective here in the second half on the touches that he has gotten. A little bit shorter than Jones, but he's round, powerful back and got some good speed to him as well. So he's done a great job here in the third quarter.
You got to think at some point, as we're under a minute now in the third quarter, East Central wants to keep running the ball. That's kind of been their MO, but they're going to have to open the passing game up at some point, and that's where Cornwall has struggled today. One back set, Jefferson in motion. Jefferson gets the speed sweep, cuts up the field, gets the first down, and gets inside the 30-yard line down to the 29. First and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, nice job there. Reading the blocks on the outside, the tight ends, Gardner and Harvey did a nice job sealing their defenders to the far sideline, allowed Jefferson to cut up inside them and get that first down. So ECU putting together a nice little drive here as the third quarter winds down.
Under 30 seconds now. It's going to be a shotgun formation. Both Jones and Armstrong into the game. The two backs. Armstrong in motion. Pump fake. And they're going to go inside to Jones. Jones breaks a few tackles before a nice hit there. And it'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, I didn't. To be completely honest, I didn't even see Jones in there. Wasn't really sure where Cornwall was throwing the ball, but a really nice tackle there from Trayvon Hadley to close out the third quarter.
We have played 3, and Southern Nazarene leads East Central 31-13. We'll be right back with the start of the fourth quarter. You are watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Start of the fourth quarter, Southern Nazarene leading East Central 31-13. SNU will be back at home next weekend. They'll take on Harding starting at 1 p.m. here from the SNU football stadium. That is the number 7 team in the country. All right, so East Central going to come out 2nd and 7 from the 26-yard line of SNU. Down 31-13 and now already in the final quarter. East Central got to start making some moves here. Jones in the backfield. Man in motion is Benson. Play action. Cornwall looking, fires to nobody. And he ran out of time there. And we got another Tiger down on the field. And Cornwall, probably the best move there. He knew he had nobody open, so he just kind of chucked it as far as he could and got it out of bounds.
It's Harvey that's down for ECU. It's interesting just the personnel that ECU's been putting out there. That time they had 2 tight ends, a running back, and an extra tackle on the left side. But then had very limited options on downfield routes. You had Gardner running down the seam, and then you had Harvey there in the flat. But really, that was about it. So it's just kind of interesting, the play calling to match the personnel that's on the field. Kind of peculiar at least. Just not a lot of downfield options there. At least Cornwall seems to be looking more for those downfield options than to check it down to the running back or to like Harvey here in the flat. Kind of more of a kind of a Stanford-esque offense, if you will. Just utilizing a lot of tight ends and extra tackles and things like that, and trying to generate a passing game with that sort of personnel out there.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 here for East Central. Obviously, they are in 4-down territory at this point, so they've got 2 downs to pick up 7 yards at least. Cornwall in the shotgun formation. Armstrong to his right, 2 receivers to his left. And Cornwall back to pass, looks to his right, kind of pump fakes, then throws it to Benson. Benson makes the catch. I think he's going to be just short of that 1st down marker. Actually, they may have given it to him. Might have got another yard. They're going to probably measure. But again, with Cornwall, you think they are going to give him the 1st down. You think with Cornwall, if he lets it go initially, you think Benson could maybe get up the field and get a few more yards.
Well, looks like the officials are.
And they say 1st down. Oh, like they could have possibly measured.
That they were going to look to measure, and I don't know if there was a miscommunication and the chains had already been reset for a 1st down, so fortunate for ECU there, it looks like.
Cornwall in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the left. They do have 1 tight end to his right. And they'll hand it off to Armstrong. Nowhere to go. Hit in the backfield and driven back. That'll be a 1-yard loss.
Great job by Jake Hansen there. First one there in the hole to tackle Armstrong there for the short loss. And again, swarming defense from SNU tonight. Everybody flying to the football, making group tackles, not leaving any individual out to make a play on their own.
Actually mark them for a 2-yard loss to be exact, and it will be 2nd and 12 for the Tigers at the SNU 21. Again, we're in 4-down territory now for East Central as we're in the 4th quarter. Cornwall back to pass. He's going to look to the left side. He's got Jefferson. It was on the ground. Did he call it in? He did. That was very close, and that was right at the marker. I think he's just a yard, just inches short. And it's going to be 3rd and inches. And
now it looks like we might actually get a measurement this time. Nope.
No, we will not.
Still third. The official signaled 1st down, and then the line judge corrected him. And I thought we were going to get a measurement there. That was probably Cornwall's best throw of the night, though. Just that hard out, long throw to make from the near hash.
Armstrong still in the backfield. Benson comes in motion. Got a little pressure from the backfield. And he's going to be dropped, I believe, for a loss. I don't think he got the 1st down. We'll see where the mark is. It's at the 10-yard line. He loses a yard.
Yeah, he definitely did not get there. Yeah, definitely lost a yard there.
And you have a flag on the play. And if you're East Central, what are you doing on 3rd and inches? Just hand the ball up the middle and get the 1st down. They try to get fancy with the jet sweep, and it blows up right in their face.
Yeah, nice penetration from Derek Gillis up front. And with this holding call, it will remain 3rd down as SNU accepts the penalty. So a redo of sorts for ECU here on 3rd down, but obviously now 3rd and 11 instead of 3rd and half a foot.
Just very surprising play call there, especially, they've kind of reestablished their run here in the 2nd half, and they elect to go with the jet sweep. And now they're looking at 3rd and 11, pistol set for Cornwall. Armstrong remains in the game. Cornwall back to pass, looking to the left side. Quick out route. Nothing much there. Catch was made. Picked up about 6 yards, and the catch was made by Gordon. And it's going to make it 4th and 5 for the Tigers. And as I said, it is 4-down territory for ECU.
Yeah, great job by Harris coming off his man immediately to make that tackle as soon as he saw where that pass was heading. Made a nice, sure tackle there, and really nice job, again, for the SNU defense. Big play here, 4th and 6.
Shotgun formation for Cornwall. Armstrong remains in the game at tailback. They've got Trinity Benson to the left. And did they take a timeout here? They did. Timeouts coming at a premium here. But ECU elects to take one, and we'll take one with them. 12-14 to play in this game SNU 31, ECU 13. So 4th and 5 coming up again here for East Central from the SNU 14-yard line, 31-13. The Crimson Storm on top. Shotgun formation for Cornwall, and the man you're going to have to watch is to the left of Cornwall. That's number 2, Trinity Benson. You imagine they're going to look his way. Jefferson in motion. Cornwall back to pass, rolls to his right, looking for Jefferson. He can't hang on. Not really a lot around him. He just straight dropped it, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, Jefferson just 5'9", had to stretch just a little bit for it. Probably could have been a little bit more accurate with the pass, but still, that is a pass you have to hang on to in that situation. 4th down and 5. Just really disappointing there for ECU. But on the positive note, SNU holds, takes over on downs, and 12:09 to go with a 3-possession lead. A lot of good things for SNU right now, and you want to burn as much of this clock as possible.
Can you imagine that's exactly what SNU, you kind of saw it in the third quarter. SNU was running the play clock down to 5 seconds or less. You imagine that's all going to happen again as Spady comes out in that shotgun formation. Looks like confusion. Another timeout. If there's been one negative tonight, that might be it right there.
Oh, certainly. You know, that's the third time SNU has done that on their own, coming out of a possession change or just a dead ball situation and having to burn a timeout. Luckily, they are not in need of their timeouts, up 3 possessions with 12 minutes to go. But yeah, it's just one of those things you really need to get that ironed out, or it's going to cost you down the line.
Absolutely. So SNU, as we mentioned, leading 31-13. We got some updates around the GAC. As we said earlier, an upset with Oklahoma Baptist winning 34-28 over Southeastern. Some other updates in the third quarter. Ouachita Baptist running all over Southwestern 41-0. Also going on, Arkansas Monticello leading Northwestern 30-7 at halftime. As for Harding and Southern Arkansas, that's just pulling up right now. Harding and Southern Arkansas have not kicked off yet. Either that or live stats may be down, but we're back out of the timeout. As Nate Walker comes in motion, Spady keeps it, goes right up the middle, and runs into a host of defenders from East Central. Maybe picks up 1 or 2, and that'll be 2nd down.
And at this point in the game, obviously you want to burn some clock, but at the same time, I would certainly want to utilize all of my offensive weapons as far as taking all these hits for the rest of the game. I don't think, if you're SNU, I don't think you want Spady taking 30 hits the rest of this game as they try to burn this clock down with him running read options and running the ball every play. I think you want to try to spread those out and get the ball out of his hands a little bit.
Ooh, dangerous screenplay, but Devin Brady comes down with it. Almost looked like a jump ball between Brady and one of the linebackers from East Central, but Brady comes away with it, picks up 4. It's going to be 3rd and manageable here for SNU.
Yeah, that looked like it was nearly a large man interception there for one of the ECU defensive linemen. I believe that was number 99, Marcel Relaford, who nearly came down with that, but Brady with good hands brings up a 3rd and short here.
Your other score from the GAC, the last one, Henderson State and Arkansas Tech. Might be the game of the night. They're tied at 24 late in the third quarter. It's a good game going on over there as well. 10:50 remaining in this game. 3rd and 4. Nate Walker's going to get a jet sweep. He's going to get the first down and much more. As he gets over the 25-yard line, he gets down to the 26, and just what SNU cooked up there, a 1st down. So a big first down for SNU. We've called Walker's name a few times today. He had that big touchdown reception from 41 yards out. It was the first score of the game for Southern Nazarene. As we said, at Southern Nazarene, they've had an offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and a touchdown on the special teams. So, again, couldn't ask for much more if you are the fan of the Crimson Storm. 1st and 10 with Ramos in the backfield. Oh, nice read option there by Spady. Really well up the field and finally tackled in East Central territory at the 31-yard line.
That was absolutely a false start on SNU, and ECU's defense not happy about it. The right tackle definitely left early. Nate Walker was kind of unsure about his motion on the jet sweep, and overall I'm pretty sure that was just a busted play that Spady took around the left side. But yeah, very fortunate for SNU, but absolutely should have been a false start there.
A lot of confusion on the field. You saw a lot of East Central defenders having a word with the officials. Regardless, it's a 1st and 10 as Walker cuts up the field, cuts to the outside and back up again. And a very nice 9-yard run down to the 25. Southern Nazarene is sniffing the red zone one more time, trying to get in that end zone. And it'll be 2nd and short.
Man, he's just so quick, and not just quick, but he's also really fast. And, you know, it seems like the same word, but, you know, he's quick in small spaces and very fast once he gets up to a full head of steam. Just a really, really impressive player, Nate Walker, and it's good to see SNU utilizing him a lot more this week. He was able to, you know, he had 3 carries last week. They're using him a lot more this week.
And another read option. Spady up the middle gets the first down and down to around the 22-yard line. And that clock will continue. It stops for a second, but it will continue to tick after they get the ball set. And SNU, exactly what they want here. You got to maybe think in the back of their mind, maybe they'd like to, you know, not going to do anything crazy, but they'd probably like to punch it in one more time if they can.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're certainly not just going to sit on it, kick a field goal, and move on. Absolutely want to see them punch this ball in the end zone here. And, you know, it's early in the season. You want to continue to build confidence, not just about this game here, and at this point about, you know, winning by as much as possible, but it's about just building confidence in your execution.
Another read option for Spady. He's up the middle, and he's inside the 15. And I tell you, early in this game, Luke, you know, Spady was really struggling to get anything going. Really seemed like this East Central defense was honed in on stopping Jacob Spady running the ball. It's been a whole different game since about late in the second quarter. He has really been pounding the ball well.
Yeah, the offensive line has done an excellent job here. Like you said, late second quarter, that last drive of the second quarter through this second half, the offensive line has really taken control of this game, is moving East Central off the ball, and they're picking up run plays in 5 to 7 yard chunks every time.
Spady in this kind of unique pistol set. Hills gets the ball. Hills has a lot of space. He gets a first down, and SNU's inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. As Hills with a nice little carry. We haven't called his name very much, but he carries it deep into EC territory.
Yeah, just a really nice design play, just giving Nate Walker a little break there and continuing the production from that position tonight. A little bit of wishbone look here with
it's a
3 in the backfield.
Definitely that unique kind of wishbone pistol set, kind of a little bit of a unique formation. As Spady up the middle. Did he get in? He's in! Touchdown! Jacob Spady from 6 yards out. And with that run, Jacob Spady has the most rushing touchdowns among SNU quarterbacks all time. He also moves in the 4th all time in rushing touchdowns. Congrats to Jacob Spady.
Yeah, just really exciting to see, you know, your senior leader, your senior quarterback out there getting that accomplishment and really, you know, putting this one on ice for all intents and purposes. A fantastic drive for the Crimson Storm there.
Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, and it is true. 6:55 to play. It is all SNU this evening.
It looks like they're going to be taking home a win in their home opener. They lead 38-13. .6:55 to play in this game. Southern Nazarene in complete control. They lead 38-13 over East Central. Anguiano set to kick off here for the Crimson Storm. Gordon and Jefferson back deep for the Tigers. And this has turned into quite the celebration here for the home opener as SNU looking to get in the win column. As Luke alluded to earlier, couldn't get on the scoreboard last week. It has been a whole different week, though. This Saturday, 38 points on the board. As there's a high kick, fair catch called for and made by the tight end, Tony Garland. They've gone at him a few times, and he's remained true each time.
Yeah, and it's always exciting not only to pick up the win on your home opener like this, but last week you did some good things. You moved the ball fairly well. Your defense performed okay, despite being put in some tough positions with turnovers and things like that. But it's good to see, your execution be on a different level tonight.
Cornwall, shotgun formation, back to pass. He's going to look deep. He was looking, I think, for Benson. Either that or was some sort of miscommunication with Jefferson. Kind of went between the two of them, and it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it looked like miscommunication on the route there. Wasn't sure which level Jefferson or Benson was running there, but like you said, kind of split the difference to absolutely no one.
That's going to make it 2nd and 10, and unfortunately for East Central, their MO has been on the ground, and they have struggled a lot more through the air, especially when it comes to Cornwall with 3 interceptions today. As he has 2nd and 10. He's back to pass. Little blitz off the end by SNU. Short little drag route to Benson. Flag is down in the area of holding. Benson with a nice little run. Gets it out to around the 45-yard line, but it might be coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold there in the offensive line. SNU doing a nice job of collapsing the pocket once again and forcing Cornwall to kind of throw off his back foot there.
And so it's going to get even tougher here for ECU as it's going to be 2nd and 20 now for the Tigers. It has been a tough night. It got off to a promising night for ECU, a 15-play, 80-yard drive that took up almost 8 minutes of time to take an early 7-0 lead, and it looked like they were just going to kind of push over SNU with their power, and it has been anything but that ever since that first drive. So East Central out in the shotgun formation. Jones in the backfield to the right of Cornwall. And he's back to pass. Will go to the right side. Short little pitch and catch there with number 81, Trey Walker. And that'll make it 3rd and long. So 3rd and 13 for East Central as we have about 6:10 to play in this game. Shotgun formation for Cornwall. 2 receivers to the left as well as a tight end. Benson all alone to the right side. Cornwall back to pass, feeling some pressure, trying to get away. He'll throw on the run and throws it out of bounds to bring up 4th down. And again, a great stop by the SNU defense.
Yeah, Biletich again coming right up the middle, putting the pressure on Cornwall and, forcing him into a bad decision. But again, great coverage down the field from the SNU secondary. We've said it many times tonight, but they've done a fantastic job covering these ECU receivers. You know, and honestly, their speed has been the difference because the ECU is running a lot of tight ends, and it's easy for SNU to keep up with those guys.
Jack Preston to punt. As he sends it off to Josh Jordan. Jordan's going to let it go. Actually, bounces up. Jordan will make the catch at the 25. Now gets up the sideline, and will get out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. And you know, Luke, as we talk about, you know, what we're looking at this season, this was a SNU team a year ago, won 4 games, something that they had not done since going to Division II. But what was really interesting and maybe even a little odd about last year is they really were kind of road warriors. 3 of their wins came on the road, and they really struggled at home. They picked up a win late in the year against Northwestern. But other than that, it was a struggle at home. And I imagine one of the things probably this squad wants to do is really protect this home field and let people know that, you know, when you're coming to Bethany, it's going to be a tough place to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight's been a great indication, a good start to that. You know, great crowd here tonight. You know, stands are full. You know, the weather held up okay for everyone. And, you know, and the performance on the field has matched the excitement in the stands here. You know, and you want to continue that. And, you know, you don't get a better opportunity the next week when Harding comes to town. You know, a great opportunity to keep the momentum going against a really good team. So it's a really great opportunity out the gate to build some huge momentum for the season.
And we'll talk about it more in the postgame, but a Harding team, they come in number 7 in the nation. They were a team last season who made the national semifinals, losing to the eventual national champions. And it was a team Southern Nazarene beat on the road. So it's a team that, hey, they may be good, but SNU knows that, hey, this is a team we can hang with, as SNU is going to have some backups into the game. Gage Porter checking in at quarterback. And it's like Alfred Greer in the backfield with them. And Porter going to go to the left side, cuts up the field. He's got a lot of room. He's to midfield, and he's knocked out of bounds. Goes to the ground. Crowd wants a late hit. Got a little bit of a late push out of bounds. Porter's up and going, though.
There's not a ton of room on these sidelines, and he went flying in, and it looks like it might have all been for naught, thanks to a holding call.
Well, it is going to come back, but as you could probably hear the crowd, they were wanting at least a personal foul at the end of that play. I think nothing big, just a little bit of a push there at the end as he was going out of bounds, but no go on that, and it's going to be 1st and 20 now for SNU.
Yeah, really good speed on the outside from Porter there, and yeah, like you said, you got the starting offensive line still there, but it looks like everybody else is backups along with Nate Walker.
To Porter. So you said the backup quarterback. You see him a little bit at receiver as well, and you could see why on that run right there. Good speed from the backup quarterback. As you said, Greer in the backfield with him. Man coming in motion. Greer's going to get a carry. Greer with a nice cut. Look at this. Greer right up the middle. Greer has a lot of green. Greer will take this all the way. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Southern Nazarene. Alfred Greer, 71 yards. What a run. Actually, check that. 81 yards.
What a run. Just hit that hole hard, and what speed. Tons of speed for the freshman out of Del Valley High School and down near Austin, Texas. And we're gonna get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Andy Lambert's not actually happy with that unsportsmanlike conduct, but I tell you what, if you want to make a point that, hey, I need a little bit more playing time, there was your point right there. What a burst up the middle there by Greer.
Yeah, and I don't think Coach Lambert's going to be upset with his team after that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It'd probably encourage that sort of celebration, and
it continues on the sideline.
Oh,
let's just say that the celebration has not stopped, and I think the celebration may go into the night as SNU is running away with this. And hey, you got to say, since SNU's made the move to D2, you haven't had a lot of nights like this.
No,
and this has
really
to feel good. Anguiano coming on for the extra point. And a game that started off pretty even has turned into a blowout. Kick is up. Kick is good. 4:56 to play in this one. Southern Nazarene 45, East Central 13. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching SNU football here on SNUathletics.com. Yeah, that was a burst. Oh my gosh. I didn't move her off. My bad. Well. Well, there's not much more you can say. Anguiano's going to kick it off from the 20-yard line, but the atmosphere tonight and then the play from Southern Nazarene has been nothing short of spectacular. It's been a pretty great night here in Bethany as the Crimson Storm lead 45-13 over East Central. And back deep for East Central is Jefferson and Gordon with 4:56 to play in this ball game. Anguiano's going to just pooch one up there. It's short. SNU had a shot. It actually bounced right into the hands of Garland. A little bit of luck there for the Tigers. A little bit of a lucky bounce.
That just would have been another bit of icing on the cake of this one if SNU would have happened to fall on a kickoff there. And now it looks like we've got backup Central for East Central as well across all positions as well. So.
Well, and I have a little bit of a fun fact for you, Luke. That was an 81-yard run by Greer. That is the first 80-plus yard run by SNU since October 25th, 2008. As the backup is in, it is intercepted! Oh, what an interception! Oh, and they're saying it's incomplete, and I don't know about that. Almost an interception. It would have been the second of the day for Jaquel Davis.
Man, just terrific break on the ball. And I'm not even sure how he came up with that. It looked like he just went through the guy.
It may be one of those situations where East Central may be happy there's not instant replay because I thought Davis came up with that. I don't think it actually hit the ground. By the way, for East Central, they do have their backup quarterback, Austin Ramsey, into the game. As he's going to hand it off on 2nd and 10. And hit will be Aston Anderson. But as I was saying, yeah, that is the first 80-yard run, 80-plus yard. Brandon Smith versus Texas College on October 25th, 2008. It's been almost 10 years. And that changed on that 81-yard run. And what a run it was by Alfred Greer.
Yeah, we'll definitely probably be seeing more of him as the season progresses. And, it's good. It's good to have these opportunities throughout the season where you can get your backup some reps and see what they can do. And we learned a lot about Alfred Greer tonight, that's for sure.
Well, and what's so different about this particular in Division II as back to pass, throwing deep, oh my, what a hit, and that's going to be a penalty. But what's so different about Division II that you don't usually get, is you don't have non-conference games. And a lot of times with non-conference games, that's when you want to see what some of your backups can do, who can kind of play in conference. It's different in the GAC. Game 1, you're starting in conference, and it's conference all year long, so you don't really have that time to figure it out.
Absolutely, and
I think we're going to get a targeting penalty here on number 58, Jaleel Maxwell. It was a huge, huge hit there on the backup quarterback, Austin Ramsey. Well, they just actually called a personal foul. I thought the reason they called it was going to be for the targeting hit, but they say no targeting, just a personal foul.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because they didn't call it a targeting or a roughing the passer, which it was on the quarterback. So
you would think it's either one or the other. Otherwise, you're just flagging him for a tackle.
Yeah, you hit him too hard.
Which doesn't. You would think it has to be one of those. But It's a first down for East Central, just playing for a little pride here, trying to get back on the board. As we said, Rajon Austin Ramsey into the game. Play action. Looking, fires, and it's dropped. Was looking for Gordon. Gordon was open, just couldn't haul it in. It'll make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, nice job there from Rajon. Austin Ramsey on that pass. Squared his shoulders nicely and put some good zip on that throw, and Gordon's got to come down with that.
And we were wondering if we were going to see Austin Ramsey at any point today, the senior out of San Antonio, with just the struggles that Cornwall was having early on. And Cornwall seemed to settle in a little bit and settle down, but obviously that first quarter or first half, I should say, was a disaster for him. There's a little screen pass, again too low and on the ground. That's going to make it 3rd down.
Certainly wouldn't have expected to see him in a blowout situation, though.
Would not have been my guess.
Definitely would not have thought that coming into tonight.
And that's just the tip of the cap. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, the SNU offense has come alive in the second half as well, but the SNU defense has been just spectacular. And they have really played well this evening. Pistol set, and they're going to hand it off to Anderson, and he doesn't get much. And that's going to make it 4th down. I imagine East Central just going to give it a shot here on 4th and 9, because you imagine SNU gets it back. They're going to run some more with the backups. And I'll be honest, I'll be okay with that. I kind of want to see Alfred Greer get a few more touches and see what that kid has.
Although if he gets another touch, he might go score again. Delay the end of this one.
It had to be, as we said, for SNU, a program that has had to grow. You see something like that long run and just, you got an unsportsmanlike conduct, whatever. But, the kind of the celebration afterwards, you just know it's got to feel so good for those guys down there. As the 4th and 9, pressure and sacked. It'll go down as a sack at least, and that is number 39, Ethan Spurlock, credited with the sack. And it will be 1st and 10 for SNU. And a game, I mean, we were talking at one point, it was 28-13. Where's this game going to go? And we've seen where it's gone since.
Yeah, and it's, been all, like you said, all SNU on both sides of the ball. And I think that's been the most encouraging part is, this hasn't been a one-sided affair for the Crimson Storm. It hasn't been, a shootout or just a defensive slugfest. We've seen them excel on both sides of the ball tonight, and that's got to be a huge encouragement, for the season going forward, but especially going into next week's game against Harding.
So back on the field goes Gage Porter. Alfred Greer is out with him. Motion by Gordon. Porter keeps it. He goes right up the middle. I tell you, I know it's some backups in, but there's been some large holes here since the backups have come in for SNU.
Yeah, SNU still has a starting offensive line out there, which, wise, I would say. You always want to kind of protect your guys a little bit and give your, backups the best chance for success. And like we talked about in the pregame, this offensive line isn't the biggest, the most talented, but they certainly work very hard. So, you want to give your backups the best chance to get some good reps in there.
And here comes Greer again. Greer going to work forward and get the 1st down. His yards per carry is going to come down a little bit, but a 1st down nonetheless into East Central territory with 2:21 to play.
Yeah, that'll cut it in half for sure. And I always hate it when that happens.
Absolutely. That 81 yards per carry was looking pretty good, but I think he'll live with it. Shotgun formation here. Greer in the backfield with Porter. Greer gets, or actually it's a keep by Porter. Nice job. Oh, what a stiff arm by Porter. And almost got a second one, then fumbles the ball. And back the other way goes East Central. It'll be number 23, Cameron Jones, all the way for 6. Well, Jones is the one who actually got stiff-armed, but it worked out well for him. He gets a touchdown back the other way.
Yeah, that was such a kind of a strange turn of events there. Everybody was oohing and on the stiff arms, and then on the second stiff arm, just lost control of the football there. So an unfortunate series of events there for Gage Porter, who's certainly not happy with himself after the fumble, but
Been a strange game.
it definitely won't impact the final result in this one.
Just makes it look a little bit closer as Schmidt's going to be on for the extra point. With 1:43 to play, it's up, and it is good. However, it's still all Southern Nazarene. They lead 45-20, a minute 43 to play. We'll take a quick break and close this game out here shortly. So a minute 43 left on the stiff arm. That turned into a fumble. That turned into a fumble return by the one who got stiff armed. Just a very odd play if you're watching at home, but a touchdown nonetheless for East Central. And, of course, after we come back, we'll get a timeout, but we'll stick with you for a second. As we said, Harding coming to town next week at 1 p.m., and SNU team going to have some confidence welcoming the number 7 team in the nation to Bethany at 1 p.m. We will have the call for you here on SNUathletics.com. Myself and Luke McConnell be with you all home season for Southern Nazarene football.
Not sure why SNU is worrying about this onside kick here. I don't think it's going to be one. ECU didn't line up as if they were going to do an onside kick, so I'm not sure what they're fretting over. But it is early season, and, to get some live game action snaps as far as, if there's a potential for an onside kick, you certainly want to make sure that your guys are ready to do that and to do it well. So, it makes sense.
We wait out the final seconds here of the 45-20, what will be a win for Southern Nazarene. And again, what has just been a whirlwind of the game, but a quite the matchup, quite the game by Southern Nazarene. We've seen really a little bit of everything, which might even be an understatement.
Yeah, well, all we need is, a deep Hail Mary pass.
All we need is the band on the field at this point, as that one goes into the end zone for the touchback. So SNU.
Well, that was halftime.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Some excellent music from the New World Symphony as well.
Absolutely, as been a fun night, as we said in Bethany. If you're listening at home and thinking, hey, should I come catch a game? Come on out. It's been a great atmosphere here at SNU football field. We'd love to have you, especially for the next game against. You got Harding coming up next week. You got Henderson State at the end of September. And then home games are a little sparing. Only one in October and one in November. October 13th, Arkansas Monticello comes to town. And then November 3rd, which will be homecoming. Southwestern will take a visit to Bethany. So the Nazarene going to come out. I believe might have gotten a delay game there.
Well, they didn't have a timeout to burn on the change of possession snafu, so they just went ahead and took the delay game. So
that's all right. We'll just take it. So Southern Nazarene out on the field. Alfred Greer in the backfield. Alfred Greer going to get the carry. Following his blockers, breaks a few tackles, and carries it out to the 29-yard line.
We're all rooting for Alfred Greer here to break another one.
I am impressed with this speedster from Austin. Out of Del Val, 5'7", 166. Not a lot of size to him, but you can tell he has got some speed. And we also, he's probably about 12, 14 yards away from 100 yards. So give him a shot. Give him a shot.
His update, he's at 85 yards as we speak. We're going to get 15 here. Won't get it on that carry as he picks up a couple. That's going to make it 3rd down. And we probably only have one more play left in this game. SNU might just take a knee here to end it, and I believe they are going to. As we are under 40 seconds, this will be the final play of the game. It'll be Gage Porter taking a knee. And for head coach Andy Lambert, what a day as the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm going to go to 1-1 on the season as they dominate the home opener 45-20, defeating East Central. And what a game here on Saturday evening. East Central's going to go to 0-2, and Southern Nazarene moves to 1-1. And Luke McConnell, what is your instant reaction to what you have seen here this evening?
Well, it's just a tremendous bounce back from last week, and just a great response by the Crimson Storm. Just getting shut out last week and just having a lot of things not go their way against Southeastern, and so just a tremendous response, I think, on their part to not let to understand that was only one game. They did some things well there, and they didn't let the mistakes that caused them to have a bad game last week compound and bleed over into this week. So just a really, really great performance on both sides of the ball tonight. Defense played outstanding, particularly after the first drive. Offense finally got things going consistently late in the second quarter and in the second half. So all in all, just a terrific bounce-back performance for SNU. And you look forward to seeing what the rest of the season holds with how they were able to really lay the wood to East Central tonight.
And we will have some final stats for you here in just a moment. And as we said, an impressive win for Southern Nazarene. And, we mentioned last year it was their first ever win over East Central. And now they can say for the first time they've got 2 wins in a row over East Central. And as we just said, it's a program that's, since they've made that switch to D2, they've been working to kind of get to this point. And as we said, it had some tough years, but this is getting to the point where this is where it starts to pay off a little bit. And you're starting to see it. It was a tough start with Southeastern. I imagine not the way they wanted to start at all with Southeastern. But, you said you had kind of heard from some players, talked to some players that, they weren't really worried about that first game. They kind of knew that, they didn't play to the best of their ability, and they knew some things just kind of didn't bounce their way, and it really didn't deter them going into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you saw that they focused more on the positives of that game and not, the end result or the turnovers or the inability to score. They didn't focus on those for this week. They focused on the positives, really drew on that. I think, they were able to capitalize on that, and they turned some things around, like with Jacob Spady, his passing numbers a lot better there in this game as opposed to last week. So really just a great bounce-back performance for the Crimson Storm this week.
And you hope maybe in those, waning seconds in those fourth quarters when you do get a big lead, it's a chance, as we were saying towards the end of the broadcast, you can see some other players, some younger players get some time and, maybe open your eyes a little bit that, hey, maybe there's some guys we need to get a few touches, take a little bit of pressure off of Spady or Nate Walker or some guys like that or Roloffs, and maybe there's some other guys that we can get into the game that start getting this experience that's, so valuable at this, at the collegiate level. And you see that on both the offensive side as well as the defensive side. And we'll go ahead. I got some final stats pulled up on the computer, and we'll go ahead and go through these final stats and wrap up the broadcast. On the day, first down, Southern Nazarene finishing with 18. East Central with 16. Southern Nazarene finishes with 280 yards rushing. East Central, a team that had about 280
had 208 against Oklahoma Baptist last week. They finished with 142. Nice job there by the SNU defense. SNU really kind of turned down their passing game in the second half. They finished with 109. East Central 102. So total yards, if you're not a mathematician at home, 389 yards on 56 plays for Southern Nazarene, 244 for East Central on 69 plays. That is an excellent job, as we said, by that SNU defense. They're holding East Central to 3.5 yards per play, where Southern Nazarene was averaging almost 7 yards per play. And as we mentioned, SNU forcing 3 turnovers, all interceptions. SNU actually played a really clean game until that very weird fumble situation. Yeah. As you see the players celebrating after the win. East Central, 34 minutes, 41 seconds in time of possession, 25-13 for SNU. East Central goes 6 of 18 on third down. They were way up there early on, and then their third down efficiency really went down. SNU at 5 of 11. East Central was also 2 for 5 on fourth down. Some individual stats. First on the East Central side, Cornwall finishes 19 of 33, 3 interceptions, did have a touchdown, and threw for 102 yards. Of course, you had Trinity Benson, 6 catches today, 36 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 4 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown, so 2 touchdowns on the day for Benson. Armstrong added 3 catches for 14 yards, and Jefferson had 2 catches for 18 yards. As far as on the ground, minus Benson, Jones finishes with 13 carries, 58 yards. We told you in the first quarter he had 6 carries for 44 yards. After that, 7 carries for only 14 yards. SNU defense really stepping up there. Reuben Armstrong, 9 carries for 30 yards. Got going a little bit in the second half, but as we said, overall, the SNU defense did a really nice job. Defensively, for ECU, leading the way was Justin Hayden with 12 tackles, including a tackle for loss. And then you had Andre Shelton adding 5 tackles. And then, of course, Cameron Jones came away with the scoop and score for East Central. Now we go to the Southern Nazarene side. Starting on the offensive side, Jacob Spady, 7 of 15, 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really nice day through the air. He also had a nice day on the ground, 22 carries, 129 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, Reed Roloffs, 4 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Nate Walker, 1 catch, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Also on the ground, you had our boy, Mr. Neal, Mr. Greer, I should say. Alfred Greer, 4 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Nate Walker, 6 carries, 28 yards as well. And then if you go over to the defensive side, you had Miles Roll finishing with 9 tackles, a tackle for loss on the day. Jaquel Davis, 7 tackles and an interception. Hansen coming through with 7 tackles as well. And you had a couple people come over with interceptions. Angel Hernandez, Davis, as I mentioned, and Dorian Harris also with an interception on the day. And then we also have to mention Lakeem Christmas with the huge kick return for a touchdown. And with that, we'll wrap this broadcast up. And Luke, just any more final thoughts on this game?
No, I think it was just a tremendous bounce-back performance. And, again, focusing on the positives and really looking at those and playing on those this week. Just really utilizing their skill set, and they did a nice job of, testing ECU's defense in a variety of ways, both through the run and through the air. So, and I think they did a nice job balancing that and, not trying to hammer away too much where something wasn't working. If it wasn't working, they mixed it up and tried something different. So I think they did a great job finding that balance. And then the performance of the defense was just outstanding. The secondary did a terrific job in coverage. The defensive line did a good job putting pressure on the quarterback, especially up the middle. And their tackling was excellent. A lot of group tackling, again, not leaving individuals out to dry to make plays on their own. A lot of gang tackles, and they just did a tremendous job there. So I think the defense especially can come away feeling really good about themselves, especially a week after giving up 35 points. Even though they were put in some compromising positions last week with the turnovers and short fields and things like that, I know that they were definitely looking to turn things around from last week's performance. And, I think performance like this, again, gives you a lot of confidence heading into, home game next week against Harding, nationally ranked, and it should be a terrific atmosphere here next week.
As you said, our next broadcast will be next Saturday, September 15th, 1 p.m. Number 7 Harding coming to town to take on Southern Nazarene. Myself, Luke McConnell, will have the call for you here from Bethany. And as we said, what a night it has been. Again, your final score from SNU football field, Southern Nazarene 45, East Central 20. For my partner, Luke McConnell, I have been James Hill, and we thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we hope you will join us again next week